7 o'clock in St. Louis. You are listening to The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. From the Stiefel Studios, Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the presentation. Jackson Burkett is on the ones and twos. Chairman Kurt filters phone calls and emails. And you're welcome to get involved in the program by calling in, texting in, emailing in, or watching the show in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. The address is youtube.com/TMASTL. I'm going to type it in right now, Doug.
All right.
And see what's going on in there and see if friends have gathered to watch us and talk about the program and share fellowship with each other for the next 4 hours. Of this program.
Okay.
Scorsese started things off by saying, tra-la, tra-la. And I guess he's talking about your St. Louis Cardinals because they are coming. Tra-la, tra-la.
Tra-la. 10-8 now, just one game out of first. Nice. It's been a glorious 18 games.
Dustin May, what do you say?
2 horrendous starts and 2 very good starts. He's back on track. That'd be a huge thing if he can continue to pitch like that for any length of time.
Would you make him your game 1 starter?
Possibly. He'd be in the conversation.
Nice.
Is it too early for that, Doug?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
What if McGreevy's listening? What if he's in Houston?
He's listening.
On the app, and he's like, thanks, guys. I call in, talk about steak and eggs, and you go with Dustin May.
Well, it's business. It's never personal. It gets into, this conversation we had yesterday about the transactional relationship between sources and then what is said on a show or on social media. Sure, we appreciate him being a friend of the program, but we have a responsibility to give our honest opinions, even if we are sleeping with him or have a rapport with him, whatever it is in between.
Who are we sleeping with?
Is that a proposition?
No, I thought you said we're sleeping with someone.
In theory.
I got you.
Yeah, that's the delta.
I had a follow-up to that. If you're on Air Force One and they have access to the president, not just this president, but historically, all of them, they talk on Air Force One. You've seen those clips over the years.
Oh, sure.
What if you really get into it? You're on the plane, right? Air Force One, and you're they just make a quick stop in Topeka and let you off. Like if you really had a nasty exchange with the president, you're kind of stuck together there. And does that alter the relationship that you're getting on the plane? Do the networks have to pay the government back? You're flying around the country, around the globe, really.
These are logistical questions.
Yes, and then I found there's a papal plane too. They do the same thing.
Oh,
all the pool of reporters just hop on that plane.
I would assume there are a few Secret Service agents on the plane as well. And if you got into too much of an argument with either the president or the Pope, you would be restrained somehow.
Well, I wasn't talking physically. I didn't think they were throwing haymakers. I mean, if it was just
even
kind
if
of
it was a big argument,
nasty, then the next time around, are you not welcome on the plane? You know what I'm saying,
possibly,
Doug?
yeah. Especially with this president.
With this president especially.
He'd say you're out.
Do you have to carry water is what I'm saying because you get that access on the plane?
I don't know that they carry water, but I don't think you could be real adversarial and expect to be invited on that plane everywhere they went.
Have you traveled with the president? 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson phone lines. 314-399-9646. That's how you can text in the Air Comfort Service text inbox. And, of course, open up your YouTube app, type in TMASTL, subscribe to the channel, and that is where you will be able to watch after the morning after a 1-hour presentation that we will begin doing on Monday, April 27th, Monday through Thursday from 11 to 12. So subscribe to the TMASTL YouTube channel. And you can go in there and talk it over with Walrus King, Hunchback of Vaughn Castle, who says, what's happening, Doug? That was a wonderful shot with Raj, Dwayne, and D, if I'm not mistaken. Of course,
Rerun was from St. Louis.
Rerun was a St. Louis, and could be a fun surprise guest.
I believe Fred Berry has passed.
Still would make it fun.
I think I've tried to get him in the past. We tried to get him on.
Do we have a high school on him?
It's a great question, Doug. He does have a star on the Walk of Fame.
Right.
Does he?
Yeah.
I'll guess Sumner.
Sumner Bulldogs.
Sumner's turned out a lot of big-time graduates.
Sumner Bulldogs.
What's happening? What
If he was Horton Watkins, Jackson would jump right on in.
Didn't we have a segment called What's Happening? With producer Joe, I think we had a What's Happening.
Producer Joel
Let's
text
make
me.
it happen.
How about that? Maybe that changes your mind, Doug.
Fred Berry, known as Rerun. That was his middle. They listed it as his middle name. Fred Rerun Berry, born in 1951 in St. Louis.
No high school. That is disappointing.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to judge him?
Yes, I'm a gentleman. I prefer a man to rub me down.
Okay,
There he
Joe.
is. There's producer
We'll work
Joe.
on
Let's see
that.
if he texted me on this, Martin.
Was that
My
taken
phone
out of
in front of me.
context, or was Joe trolling the audience?
No, I think he was just kind of offering up a service that he needed, which reminds me, I need somebody to fix my refrigerator.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so if you're in
Ice
that
maker.
industry,
No, Appliance Discounter's got a great. Sean, the repairman, is outstanding.
I need it, and I need it now.
Do you?
To before we give in and go, okay, we got to get a new refrigerator. So T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. And you can get into Carport Village. I got to give you the code, though. It's like going down Magnolia Lane.
Oh, really?
Getting into Carport Village. Yeah. People whose carports may have blown away in the storms last night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It rained like I've never heard it rain before at the old 2-5.
Is that right? Really?
Oh, just buckets
Haven't you
of
guys
rain.
been on the air with a tornado, or didn't you have a tornado?
Yeah,
out
and then
there?
we got an alert on our phone for the safety of everyone in the building. It says head to zone 3. Producer Roman turned to me. And
This
he
was
said,
actually last night, or this was when it happened?
No, last night.
Okay.
Said head to zone 3. Doug, I'm busy typing and doing
Sure you
journalism.
are.
I can't be concerned with a tornado.
There's a score that needs updating.
Yes. This is at about, 9:50 maybe, and producer Roman and I are sitting there, and we both said, we don't know where zone 3 is.
No.
Not sure I know. I believe we had a tornado warning once, and Chuck Marley said, what'd you do? He goes, I just went to the vending room. And he's like, that way you could always have a snack
Yeah.
if you're stuck.
Maybe it'll break open. You'll get some freebies.
Yes. If they're going to rip the roof off this joint, at least we get some handicap fries.
I used to eat bear claws 2 at a time.
There you go, Shuckle Arl.
I sleep so soundly. I didn't even know it rained last night.
Oh, there was a tornado warning.
Yeah.
Is that right? What
In St. Louis
Oh, yeah.
County.
A warning?
Oh, sirens going off and everything.
I don't know. Was it a watch?
hear
Doug and I
warning?
snort the same sleeping pills.
I
No,
heard those
major.
sirens
What
fired
time,
up.
baby? What time?
Fired up Templeton about 9:40.
God, I was.
9:40, there was tornado warning
Yes.
signs?
You guys want to know what time I fell asleep?
Oh, I didn't
assume
hear
you
any
do?
of it.
It's rhetorical because you're going to get it either way. 9:36, Doug. I was gone.
It was right after that.
Yeah, literally probably like 5 minutes later.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. And it went, right over, it like kind of was running.
going down Highway 40,
right down
more or less,
40,
West County.
Yeah. a little north of you guys, but it was in that vicinity.
Is that right?
Do any
Like it just
damage?
hung out down Highway 40?
Yeah, they kept saying, Templeton kept saying it was a weak cell.
Who is this Templeton you
Yeah.
speak of?
Yeah.
Jackass.
Sleeves rolled up.
Sorry, that's just the app I have downloaded. If it makes you feel any better, they kept throwing ads at me right when it was like,
See,
and it's coming
see,
towards
that's why.
Brentwood, and I was
No.
like, and then it was a 45-second ad. I was like, I'm in trouble here.
Did you retreat to the basement?
I don't have a basement.
Oh, what'd you do?
I have a hallway that's I got walls surrounding me, no windows around. so
Kind
I
of
can
near
do
the
that.
bathroom area. There's always a hallway.
Yeah, I've never had basements, so I've never.
You've never had a basement.
Not really.
Oh, he's
no.
too good for a basement, Doug.
Yes, just a slab guy.
That's right.
The tornado was at 40 and 270. That's from the 314.
Right. Heart of West County, and then it rolled through Brentwood. I was worried about you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I
It
updated
was
my
fine.
scores, Doug.
I am completely. I don't know if it's good to be completely oblivious to all of this. I mean, 'cause it doesn't really matter. It impacted my life in no way. But was there damage all over the place?
No. I
Chairman
think
Kurt's
anything-
shaking me off.
I
No?
don't think anything terrible.
No, they were talking about it on unnamed broadcast. That they're by the time it was like in the city, there have been no 911 calls. There have been no reports of damage. So I think it was pretty weak. But it was heavy rains and heavy winds.
Well, if it was going down 40, it would have been close to where that tornado hit in May of last year.
They kept saying on the broadcast, like, "Don't worry,
Can't
this
be
is not
serious.
this
They're
is-
not going to get it again.
They kept saying this is not anything close to what May 16th was.
A lot of those people still have not been paid by their
yeah.
insurance companies.
Yeah.
Still haven't been paid. State Farm CEO had to go in front of Congress yesterday to answer as to why the payments have been delayed for so many people.
Doug, I thought I had it for you. I thought Fred, who legally changed his name, Fred Berry, legally, middle name is Rerun.
Okay.
I found something that linked him to McBride, but I cannot confirm.
Are you talking high school?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he moved to California and he dropped out in the 10th grade.
Oh, no.
wow. Well, he would have gone to McBride, maybe.
Okay.
There you go.
That's important.
Tim, this opening segment kind of is what's happening. We had a tornado watch.
Yeah.
Papers doesn't have a basement. Fred Berry changed his middle name. What else you want to know?
Let's see. We got active people here in this Air Comfort Service text inbox. The good news is a tornado could decimate all of downtown and there would be no injuries. That's from Mr. Mudjack Mike. So he says tornadoes should be directed, I guess, kind of funneled, the funnel clouds to downtown because that's the safest place to make sure no people are injured.
Fewest amount of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Sad.
Do phones give alarms?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
And they're loud.
Mine didn't.
I'm honestly surprised. Unless you guys were... I thought it was the whole county.
And you can't override it. It just your phone is vibrating and it says tornado alert.
Yeah, it's really loud.
I got an automated call from the city of St. Louis that was one of those, you're under a tornado warning, take shelters.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the iPhone just did it. Maybe you guys weren't in the zone, but I thought it was all the county.
Maybe we slept right through it.
Wow, these guys. And the county has speakers, correct? Where there is a tornado. And I always wonder, how big is that speaker? Because it's got to hit a large area.
Yeah, they probably have
multiple.
I would think.
Yeah, they're up there on the telephone poles. You just haven't noticed them. Probably.
Oh.
That's where the one is in my neighborhood.
Well, hope everybody's safe. That's what you say, Dave.
Yeah.
Tim, I have a fridge problem too. Samesies. That's from Ray King. Doug, Ray King and I are the same.
Okay. You got a little leak?
Yeah. And we were going to the appliance discounters. My wife went out there yesterday. Talked it over with Casey at Appliance
We just bought a dryer from Casey.
Doug, this Casey at Appliance Discounters.
Wheeling and dealing.
He must be making a fortune.
Yeah, she. It's one of those names where. Okay. But I'm like, okay, before we give in, it's just a freezer drawer that you can't. As strong as I am, and a lot of people say I'm the strongest person.
Oh, you're a real bulwark.
And can't. So I'm like, just before we do it, let's just expire all options. Mm-hmm. But I don't have a person, so that's why I'm putting that out there to our audience. Team McKernan on STL. Also, if you want to bet on 68.5 on the Cardinal over, I'm still available for that, but I'm not getting a lot of action. I'll give you plus 130 on it.
If John Bradley's listening, he's going to tell you about Sean, who is the appliance discounters repairman. He fixes everything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Sean can.
Sean, call in.
Sean, yeah, you can call in 314-974-0101. Tim, can you make your metrics public? I'd love to try to mimic you. That's from the co-founder of the Fairmount Park Players Club. Sure, no problem. Fell asleep last night at 9:36. Apparently such a sound sleep that I didn't hear anything about this tornado. I didn't hear anything about this twisted.
I didn't even know it rained.
What time were you asleep?
I guess about the same time.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. God almighty. What are we doing?
I didn't hear my phone go off. I assume it did. I didn't hear it.
1 hour and 52 minutes of REM sleep and 2 hours and 2 minutes of deep sleep. 7 hours and 6 minutes of sleep as a whole. There you go. You can try to mimic that if you want. I don't know if everybody has the genetics that I do, which is unfortunate for you if you like to be able to fit into small places. The tornado got stuck in traffic going down 40. That's from We Too Low. Yeah, right there at 170 and 40. Doug, it could be 4 o'clock on a day where nothing's going on, and somehow there's traffic.
Right around the Galleria area. Yeah.
It's nice.
Just can't get around McCausland because it turns a little to the left there, Doug. You just can't.
Sure.
I'm talking about going eastbound. You're talking about the westbound.
Well, I'd even think going downtown, it just McCausland on back.
Oh, still there too?
Just on back to the Galleria. You just cannot get through that stretch.
Tim, you would have been in the warning area. Dougie may have been south. That's from the Golden Hoosier Shoe.
Okay. Well, usually I think if it's even in the surrounding county, the sirens go off, don't they?
I think it went off for the large majority of the county.
Yeah.
It's not a speaker, Martin. It's Rerun with a boombox on his shoulder blasting the warnings. That's from ThrillFan22.
See, it all connects, Doug.
I don't know that that's the case. Have you ever been so tired that even though you hear the tornado warning, you're so comfortable in bed, you say, I'm just going to ride this out?
I didn't even know you heard the tornado warning. Outside of the siren. I didn't know that the phones do this, and Chairman Kirk gets phone calls.
Yeah.
Kara Spencer calls you.
How'd you get on the list? And we didn't.
I think I'm the only city resident in the room,
that
right?
could be, yeah.
Because it's a city of St. Louis thing, but I didn't get out of bed. I had Steve playing on my phone, and I woke up at about 2 in the morning, and the Four Fox was still playing.
There you go, loyal Kurt. There you go.
Got it.
You didn't go to the basement either.
No.
But you have a basement.
Yes.
Of course.
Holy hell, Doug, you're only supposed to take one Ambien at a time. That's from Sharon, and she's in Clayton.
I don't take any. I've never needed anything to get to sleep.
Man,
ever.
that's great. That's great. God bless you.
I think it's because I don't worry. I should worry more about things. I should be more concerned about things than I am. But when my head hits the pillow, I could care less about anything.
God bless. That's the Doug Vaughn nirvana that we're all seeking.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get there.
I should worry more about bills and finances and what I'm going to do with my life, but I don't. As soon as I'm tired, that's it. It's over.
And you don't take anything? Just lay down?
Just lay down.
But I saw you were up early this morning because you picked up a bunch of people on the waiver wire in our fantasy baseball league.
I did
so
get
maybe
up
you're
early.
not sleeping as much.
I slept enough. I got up at like 4.
Ooh.
Did you have to use the little wizard's room because you got a harsh mistress as a prostate?
Well, I had a big cup of hot chocolate right before I went to bed, and so
chocolate.
I paid for that.
Mr. Rogers over here.
Put on my slippers and my cardigan sweater, had some hot chocolate. Then at 4 o'clock, I had to get up, and just stayed up.
4 o'clock. Wow. Well, you are well prepped for this show, I would imagine, if you got up at 4.
Well, I was in bed by 9:30.
Okay.
So.
Doug, you're so freaking old.
Well, now people can text instead of your zip code, instead of your weight. Just tell us what time you went to bed. Just a little audit on the text line. Tim, you like follow-ups as well.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy them.
I shared this with the group yesterday, but you asked why Fox does not put the strike zone box on the screen.
Yeah, you texted me this.
A friend of mine, I said that they did a straw poll, and fans didn't like it. This is Fox. So they will use it on occasion, the little strike zone box. Also, Cousin John turned after the Jeff Suppan interview where Cody McKay took some shrapnel. Cousin John put it into AI. And in 2004, friend of the show, Jeff Suppan, pitched with Molina 16 times and had an ERA of 3.4, Mike Matheny 3.95. He had 6 starts where Cody McKay was the catcher. The ERA is 6.53. So maybe Soup's on to something there. Even though he didn't mean to. I talked to him after the show, and he said, "Was that bad? I shouldn't have said that."
That was great.
It's fine. And then the numbers back it up.
When he was describing who the catcher was, this was Jeff Suppan on with us yesterday, and I would recommend going back and podcasting via the Schaefer Door Company podcast app. Mike McGreevy, Jeremy Rutherford, Jeff Suppan, our guests yesterday. And he was talking about there was a catcher on the staff that none of the guys wanted to work with, but Suppan wouldn't complain about him, so they always stuck him with him. In my mind, I was going through his time in St. Louis, and I was thinking, I bet it was Cody McKay. And then Doug says, not going to name any names, are you? And he goes, well, I mean, it was Cody McKay.
The greatest collapse in the history of the witness stand. But the numbers are pretty jarring. He said Carp was amazed that he wouldn't complain about it. He said it was really a thing. And he didn't dispute the getaway lineup, Doug.
No.
That sometimes it's a little less robust.
Undercovered yesterday, Matten. Undercovered yesterday. Dustin May was dealing, and the Cardinals won 5-3, and I believe it was 8.5, but that was right in the sweet spot of the number yesterday. So it wasn't one of those 1-0 quick ones. I was watching. I was here at the station until the end of the game, and I felt like it wasn't at one of those brisk getaway day paces. So
it was not.
It depends on what number
for a lot of the game.
you got. Yeah, it didn't start on time, but I didn't feel like it was like one of those, okay, we're going to see a couple pitches and either make contact or we'll get out of here and get on a plane and get to Houston as quick as possible. But hey, 2 of 3 from them. Felt like they kind of played average at best over that homestand, but yet went 3-3 against 2 teams that certainly could very well be in Major League Baseball's ever-expanding postseason. Guardians were really in the mix last year, and the Red Sox had expectations, and it looks like they have perhaps righted the ship after they were angry as hornets in Boston at the start of the season. They are now 7-11. I think they came to St. Louis at around 2-8 or 3-8 or something like that.
Some of the standings are upside down right now.
Outside of the
Last place
National League
teams,
West, that's the blue chip stock, 14-4 for the Dodgers.
Yeah. But look at some of the first place teams are the Pirates, Athletics, Twins, Rays. I mean, it can't possibly last, I wouldn't think, but you would have thought those would be last place teams. And you got teams like the Red Sox and the Astros and the Mets and the Cubs in last.
Mets can't hit, bro.
No,
they have lost
they're
8 in a row, and I
No.
think they might be getting to the point where somebody might lose a job. They're angry as real-life Hornets in Queens.
As I understand, the team's got no balls. I'm ready to hear
Where's
that.
Soto?
There it is.
Okay? I want to see these guys. I can't stand this team. They got no balls. Okay? I want teams with balls. I want guys with balls.
I need to know what that guy does for a living. I
think-
got
I
to see
think
him in
he's a
the work.
trucker. Is he a
I
trucker?
need to see him in the workplace.
He's right on point. That's a good call right there.
That's a good call.
Oh, well. Yeah, Dodgers 14-4. Yikes.
Nobody saw that coming.
How many did they win last year? 100 and... How many? With this?
I left the crowdsourcing
So it's
industry.
it's over 100. They won more than 100, though, right?
Well, we could probably look it up.
Yeah, I don't think it's out there anyway.
The Dodgers won 93 games.
They only won 93 last year?
2025 Dodgers.
Wow.
Because they do the NBA load management.
Wow. I still think
They also dealt with some injuries last year early on in the season to their staff, but, still didn't matter. It's about as blue chip of a play as you can make. And this Derek Carty guy, who I find to be, from my experience, the only guy who actually posts his record and his picks, as opposed to just these touts, some of these manual play stimulators that they have on ESPN. Just, and I love this. And it's like me on the spread zone. I don't have any idea. I got to do the show. So here's what I think, and I'm probably wrong. I wouldn't pay attention to me. My dad's like, I heard you liked UConn. I took UConn. Don't listen to me, Dad. God in heaven. And don't be betting anyway. What are you doing? But with regard to this, this guy posts his numbers, and he said, hey, I know it's minus 300, so you got to pay 300 to win 100. But the Dodgers winning the National League West is about as sure a thing as you can get in gambling. You got to pay 300 to get it, but they're just going to do it, and that's the way it gets. And plus, I think that you can do an alt line on their win total. It's just it's another world, and really, they're the only ones who are, barring injury, it's foolproof. Because as you were saying, Doug, you look at every other division, and I don't know. I guess maybe you could say the Braves, you knew going in, were supposed to have high expectations, but they also were there with the Phillies and the Mets in the East. Dodgers, that's something you can count on.
Yeah. It's not enough that they already have the first 3 or 4 guys on their team are probably Hall of Famers, superstars. The guy right now having the best offensive numbers in the league is Pajes.
Yeah.
And he hits 6th or 7th, and he's hitting over 400 and leading the league in RBIs. And just what they needed is another guy to hit like that. They've put together a heck of a team.
The Dodgers have.
Yeah.
That might be a nice social media clip.
They've put
That's
together
right,
a heck
that's
of a
right.
team.
Doug is just slinging the takes.
And they got a DH rushing is hitting 529.
Yeah. Who's also a catcher.
Yeah.
All the rushing. 4 teams in baseball have scored more than 100 runs. Would anybody like to venture a guess? Recuse yourself if you have seen.
Who scored how many runs now?
100 or more runs so far this season.
Braves are having a good year.
Nice, you got that?
So it's 5 or more per game at this point.
That's right.
I guess the Yankees would be an obvious guess.
That's a good guess, but
it's not wrong.
Not
Not right.
correct. They've only scored 82.
Okay.
Dodgers, Braves, the other 2. I bet you won't get one without getting 3 strikes. So
Padres?
that's a hint. Nope. That's 1 strike.
What kind of initials, maybe?
I'm out of the initial business.
Oh. See, who are the first place teams that I just mentioned? Not the Pirates.
No,
Twins,
I got
maybe?
2 strikes. Yes, you got it!
Okay, they're in first.
Minnesota Twins. Who would have thought? And the Astros. I thought we already said
Astros,
that.
yeah.
I apologize if not. And the Dodgers have allowed the fewest runs. They are the only team in baseball to not allow 60 runs through the 18 games that they have played. So they're going to score the most, and they're going to allow the fewest. Doug, your thoughts?
It's a heck of a team they've put together.
The Cardinals will be dealing with that Astros offense in their little mini box ballpark that they have down there for the next few days.
Well, the good thing is the Astros pitching's even worse.
Yeah, they got a problem.
Yeah.
They've lost a bunch of guys to injury already, and so they're just spot starting it left and right. So if the Cardinals can't hit in the bandbox against these randos, that'd be something else. But that's the thing about the way the Cardinals are winning games right now. It's not the AstroTurf Whitey ball style, but it is a lot of moving guys over, base running. Yesterday, 4 stolen bases. And Chip Carey said this early on in the game. I think it was 2-2 at the time yesterday. And he goes, hey, if you like tight baseball games, you're probably going to like the 2026 Cardinals because they don't necessarily have an offense to blow people away, and they don't really have a pitching staff that is going to, you're not going to have a Skeen start or something like that where it's just like, okay, we're probably not going to be able to do much offensively here. 1 out of 5 starts. You got guys who can be effective, but they're not necessarily going to shut teams down, and you don't have an offense with the depth to blow teams out. But to their credit, at this point, through 18 games, they've been able to win 10 of them and come back in many of them.
You had Weatherholt walking twice, Scott walking twice, just those guys getting on base. And I feel like Burleson, if he's not going to be a huge home run guy, but he's always going to be a big RBI guy. And we were talking about it post game about his ability to drive in runs. He said, well, I really can't do it unless they're on base. And so Weatherholt finding ways. I think he got hit by a pitch, walked a couple of times, didn't have a hit, but was all over the base pass. Same with Victor Scott, just getting on. I think that what Chip's pointing out there is that, it's not the greatest lineup. Yeah. But I do think they're going to kind of find ways, and they talked a lot in the postgame about that position to station, and kind of just manufacturing a run and taking that extra base, even on an outfielder. And I tell you what, that 24 hours where they were about to lose their 4th in a row.
Yeah, you're right.
It was kind of about to shift, and you could just feel that narrative coming. Oh, here we go. Wheels are off. And just to get that comeback Tuesday, I think it kind of saved them from that. And not that they're talking about it, but it can wear you out if everybody says, oh, here we go.
If they can go through a road trip at 4-2, which I would feel like is reasonable considering they're playing in Houston and against Miami, and come back to St. Louis at 14-10 for a 3-game series against the Mariners. And I've already circled about 7-16 on April 24th for the standing ovation in the Waterworks for Brendan Donovan. I'd like to think if you have what I would think would be by that point, late April, favorable temperatures, that could be a weekend where you might see some people start to go, you know what, let's go down and see that ball club. Yeah. Let's go down and see that ball club.
I couldn't help but have the thought. First, I'll read the disclaimer. Yes, I knew they had to rebuild. I know they had to do all that. But had they held on to Contreras at first and Donovan at third and put Burleson in left, they would have the first 6 guys in the lineup pretty darn good hitters. Now, I know that wasn't in the cards. But had they just kind of gone halfway into the rebuild and hung on to those 2, I think they would have a formidable team. I don't know how long they can go just kind of counting on Walker to mash like he has over the first 3 weeks. Hopefully he can keep it up the whole year. But he's been a big chunk of their success, and it's going to be hard for him to maintain the pace that he's at now. They're going to need some other guys to step up and produce some runs.
Did you see the stat, though? They have a terrible record when he homers. I don't know if it's 2-6 or whatever. When Walker homers, they tend to lose. Not that there's any correlation, but they haven't had the games where he's homered have not been winning games primarily for them. But I get it. Yeah, if you had Contreras in there, but I think their point, in addition to saving money, is just clear out all the guys who are not going to have any value 2-3 years from now. Embrace the youth, Doug.
Well, yeah, I am. But they're using Urias almost as a platoon with Gorman, and he's older than Donovan.
Yeah, that one threw me off when they acquired him. Yeah. That kind of went against it. I mean, obviously, it's not a high-cost acquisition, but I'm like, okay, that doesn't really make sense. And if anything, you were thinking they were probably going to do something in the outfield with a right-handed bat. So that one was off the brand of what I thought was going on. But either way, he is platooning with Gorman. I saw you let Nolan Gorman go in the fantasy baseball league. Well, you finally said enough's enough. That had to be a tough conversation. It
was, because I've drafted him like 3 times over the last couple of years in fantasy baseball, thinking this is going to be the year. I can use the power, use the home runs, and now if he's not going to play against lefties, he's going to sit out a big chunk of the season, too. So
No, Doug, it's a culture thing. You had to get those washed-up curmudgeons out of there. That's from Kitty Bates.
Brendan Donovan's washed up. The Mariners would argue that. Contreras didn't look so washed up when he had 4 hits against the Cardinals the other night. I know that they had to do this. I know that they did.
It sounds like you're going to fight Kitty Bates.
If, in hindsight, had you held on to those two, I think your lineup would be looking awfully good right now.
You want to settle this like men? Let's do it over the AM radio airwaves.
Now, Doug, at this pace, projected for Nolan Gorman, if he played 153 games, he's on pace for 18 homers, 81 RBIs.
At this pace.
That surprises me.
81 RBIs?
That's what his projected number is. If he played 153 games.
Yeah. I don't know that he's going to get to if he's going to sit many times against left-handed pitching.
I was thinking about McGreevy. He gets on the plane, so it's Wednesday. They have a day game. He pitched, Tuesday night. They're getting on a plane to go to Houston. They got an off day today in Houston. He won't pitch again until Monday in Miami. Mm-hmm. Do you just bring your clubs and just
he's ball striking?
Yeah, I got some work to do. I got to get some,
Do they bring clubs or do they rent them there?
Yeah,
That's a good logistical question.
All day.
They bring them?
All day.
The teams allow all the players to bring their golf clubs?
All day.
I don't think a lot of position
think Greg
players
Maddox was going to say, no, that's fine.
You got
I'll
some
rent
Stratas.
some. John Smoltz, borderline professional golfer. Yeah, they would be bringing the clubs.
And I'm sure they vote as a team. Like, they could have stayed in town last night. And then
I was wondering about that. But so the logistics were they bolted to Houston.
Flew out last night, and my theory was enough players thought, Houston, maybe we play some golf Thursday.
Adverse weather also here.
But, they probably decided this months ago.
Now, do they vote
Maybe
or
not.
just the manager or the GM decide? I wonder how that is another logistical question.
That is a great question. I think the manager leans on the players a little bit. Like Fisher would fly out to Seattle on Wednesday, Doug, because you wanted to get there early.
Yeah.
Scottsdale on Thursday.
Oh, wow, yeah. If
We'll
you
get
got a young
ready.
single ball club, Scottsdale would be the move. You get your golf during the day and that ass at night.
Oh, I assume they have to make these decisions well in advance because you've got hotel rooms and buses and
I think it's made well in
airline flights.
advance.
You drafted Gorman 3 times?
Yeah.
Smartest fans in baseball. That's from Dino Bravo, not happy.
I'm not talking about a first or second rounder. I'm talking about late in the draft. You take a flyer on a guy who, just like Walker, I keep thinking one of these years he's going to explode, and it hadn't happened.
Martin, we had a rights holder situation at the old CBS Sports 920. And we had a gentleman, we had a fantasy football league, did it over at Helen Fitzgerald's. Oh, give me those delicious wings and crinkle-cut fries, if you please. And we did the draft there, part of a remote broadcast. And the gentleman with his first-round pick selected former Ram quarterback Sean Hill as his selection in the first round.
Dear God.
I think he followed that
Said
up
enough
with
to get your rights holder merit badge.
That is the ultimate. It's one thing if you're like, throwing it around. It's another thing if you actually do it.
He might have followed that up with a defense in the second or third round.
Yeah, that Ravens D, you got to get him.
That's might as well get your kicker early too.
Listening and learning.
Was he trying to lose the league? Or
No, that was
just didn't understand.
It was a or it was Doug just said it. He just didn't understand.
Just didn't understand it. But when I do the fantasy sports, I like to get players on the Cardinals and the Blues.
Yeah, a little bit.
Keep an eye on them. Helps the rooting interest even more.
You pick up Urias when you cut Gorman?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
Crinkle cut fries are the worst. That's from the North County Golf Pro.
You're getting,
Where'd that come from?
You might get Goodfellas.
Well,
dropped
Jackson's
after
been
that. That's what I'd
activated.
take.
You have been activated.
You can say they're not my favorite, but to say that they suck outright, them's fighting words.
I subscribe to some people like things and some people like other things.
don't
And
like
so
other
if a gentleman, the North County Golf Pro, doesn't like the crinkle cuts, I understand that.
Yeah, but that's like saying oxygen sucks. Like
Do you view a crinkle cut fries in the same class as a necessity as oxygen?
yeah,
God bless you, sir.
yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
if I ever go
So
in
you
there-
have to have them to live?
I think once a month or so, at least.
Otherwise, you'll just choke
Yeah.
out?
My reserves will be depleted.
My fry reserves. I stand with Jackson. That's from Stephen.
I hope that's just in general,
Based on his previous text, I don't think it's in general, but I think on this crinkle cut fry take in the North County Golf Pro, I think he is with you. You can call in with your fry takes at 314-974-0101. That's the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Text into the Air Comfort Service text inbox, 314-399-9646. And, of course, open up your YouTube app, type in TMA STL. 235 friends are in there talking right now in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Deep voice dude, downtown Doug, St. Louis, MD 2020, Jock Ward, DJ Patty Cakes, and Devil's Crotch, and Iggy's Lover. Huh?
Iggy's Lover.
They're all in there, and they're all talking it over while watching the program on the TMA STL YouTube channel. The program is called The Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown & Group on 101 ESPN. like you requested this. Why?
Puts me in a good headspace.
Yeah, I get it. Shout out to my players out there. Whoa. Guess I got to explain that to my kids.
It was bleeped.
He's got the chipmunks in the background.
That does say, is that Alvin Simon Theodore?
Yeah.
Is this new from Kurt?
Akon's birthday. St. Louis's own.
St. Louis's own.
Yeah.
Fred Berry, Akon.
Kevin Nealon.
Want to take a guess on Akon's age today?
I think he's going 50 bills.
We had a high school there on him.
He quickly left St. Louis after being born here.
Wow. Yeah, that's usually what people do
Couldn't
after they
stand it.
graduate from Missouri. What do we got, Jackson? I'm going 50.
He is 53 today.
53.
So if he'd lived here a little longer, then City would have an Akon kit, we think?
That was not bleeped, and it was loud and clear on the radio.
It was
From
bleeped.
the 618. Well, you and the 618 are going to go now.
I don't care. I have ears. I have working ears, and I heard it was bleeped, so I don't really know what the...
I heard it differently, but I don't want to get...
Oh, nice. Always your own guy.
I'm not getting in the tattle business.
Boy, that Templeton was bringing the heat last night. I felt so safe at home. Sleeves rolled up. Doug's big channel.
Join TMA 618 for the return of the Dotem. It's coming up. What do we got? 3 weeks from Friday? I think if that's my math. I don't know. I'm doing a high-pitched thing for no particular reason. It's at Oak Valley. And it's presented by Cutwater Canned Cocktails. You can register your foursome tomorrow at 8 a.m. Get your foursome together to join Martin, Doug, Jackson, and myself for a day out on the course, including breakfast from Donut Drive-In. That is all included. It's not like they're going to be selling a la carte. Lunch from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. That's all included. An after party with food from Texas Roadhouse. And then throughout the day, all your Cutwater canned cocktails and AB beer and seltzers. Plus, you'll have the 100 West Dental closest to the pin competition, the Evergreen Wealth Strategies longest drive competition, and more. Registration opens in about 24 hours and 18 minutes on 101ESPN.com. Get your foursome together. Make sure you get a spot. And that will take place tomorrow at 8 a.m. with a portion of the proceeds benefiting Birdies for Bipolar. That's Michael Wellington's charity. Find all the Dotem information now at 101ESPN.com. That is May 15th at Oak Valley, the Dotem Golf Tournament presented by Cutwater Canned Cocktails. All your food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your golf, and I believe the putting green. Doug, they're all
putting green
included.
too.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, they were doing some work on that course last year when we were there. I'm anxious to see how it looks this year.
It's a great layout. It really is a great layout. Yeah.
it's a fun
Recommendation. And for those of you going, well, where the hell is it? If you haven't been there, for real. Because when I heard it was where it was at Peevely, that I'm like, ooh, that's going to be a haul. But then it really was a 15-minute drive, easy drive from 270 and 55. So there is the math, Oak Valley. It was a poorly positioned bleep, Jackson. That's from the Hoosier Trojans.
I didn't put it there. I didn't put it as a clean version of the song. It said big letters, clean.
But it didn't come out that way?
I thought it did.
In Paper's defense, I could see the video playing out, and when the word it had a dot,
the
dot,
stars.
dot, it
Yeah.
had it as if it wasn't meant to appear, but I could do it.
You heard it too, did you? Oh, no.
No big deal. Let's let it pass, even though the text line's blowing up and they all heard it. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's
They
fine.
all say they heard it because it's like, oh, what's dunk on Jackson? Tale as old as time.
Here's your Polos Plus dossier. Brad Thompson in studio. Or no, excuse me, over the phone at 9 o'clock. I would imagine he's in Houston. He could be out there ball striking
I bet
today.
Rick
Oh, is that
Horton.
right? Him, Rick Horton.
Let's see who else is in there. Maybe a pitcher in there. Maybe McGreevy.
No, we'll find out. Yeah, he'll be in the middle of ball striking.
He'll be one of those. Hey, Doug. Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, I think I do think the offense. Yeah, it's your turn. You're out. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, they're pitching great, sure, and playing better. At least interesting to see what happens in Houston.
Yep, that's what it's going to sound like at 9 o'clock.
What else, guys? Yeah, sure. You want to say hi to Rick Horton? Here, Rick, hold my phone.
Yep. Polos Plus dossier, Brad Thompson, 9 o'clock. Then the email of the day, which is brought to you by Design Air Heating and Cooling at 9:45. And then Mike Tucker of Bellerive as the BMW Championship is fast approaching. Doug, is that April?
I don't have a date on that, Tim.
20th through the 23rd, I believe. Or August, 20th through the 23rd. So Mike Tucker of Bellerive in studio. And I know that they're probably recruiting all of us to become members as well. So that will probably tend to that off
You
air.
can just say no. It's not easy, but...
Would Sweet Ty be in charge of driving Mike Tucker over here?
I don't think so.
That's his gig? He's the driver for the pro?
No, that'd be a pretty sweet deal, actually.
So there's your Polos Plus dossier here on TMA. Design Air is a longtime sponsor of the program going back more than a decade with Seth Goldcamp and his team. The forecast is glorious. Obviously, storms overnight, but it is a beautiful morning in the St. Louis area for those of you listening from far away, and it looks like the forecast is optimal today. Sunny skies, high of 80. How do you do? Tomorrow, high of 84. Going to cool off a little bit over the weekend with temperatures dropping to a high of 69 on Saturday, 65 on Sunday. But look at the forecast next week. Nothing but mid-70s. Make sure your air conditioning is ready to go for when the weather warms up and it's not so temperate. Take care of it now. Design Air Service. .com. That's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Martin's a client, Doug's a client, I'm a client. DesignAirService.com. Cardinals getting the win yesterday over the Guardians. They wind up taking 2 of 3, as Martin referenced in the first segment of our Healthcare Evolution 7 o'clock hour. It really did look like they were on the verge of losing 4 in a row, and a spiral could certainly have begun, but alas, they come back on Tuesday. They get the win yesterday as well behind a good Dustin May start. And Ali Marmol talked about following the game, the Cardinal performance and the start of the season.
There's a lot of different ways this can go from an outcome standpoint. The one thing we wanted to anchor to and be committed to was the style of play and our preparation. And that's what I'll continue to point to when we talk about Walker, when we talk about JJ, like all these guys. It's you're building something that's going to be fun to watch for a long time here, and you have to go about it the right way. And that's what we're committed to. So, yes, late game, walk off, you come back in, 12-15 game instead of a 1-15. You know it's a travel day, but you have to be on point. And those are those little moments, like can we win those small moments and stack them and continue to stack them? And I feel like our group continues to do that. And we can't let up, regardless of what the outcome of the game is. Like, those are those little moments we have to continue to win.
And I'll tell you this, we look at 2 getaway day games here over the last week and change in Detroit and in St. Louis against the Guardians, and they did not tread out the getaway day lineup. And I like that. And guess what? They won them both.
And maybe they're too young not to know that you're supposed to mail it in on those games, Doug. Maybe they're just not veteran and savvy enough that it's a mail-it-in game.
No.
I think this Riley O'Brien is fascinating because when we said who's going to close, we probably talked about it in February. You could have made the case for JoJo Romero. I thought Swanson was a guy they really liked. Maybe
Stanek started the season, right?
Yeah, they gave him that first one at home, opening day. Didn't go great.
Had this, and then the following game, Martin, it was against the Rays on that Saturday afternoon, and he blew it.
So Riley O'Brien, I think they liked him, but I don't think that he profiled as for sure your closer. And now he's got 5 saves, 5 outings. He hasn't given up an earned run. He's got 11 Ks. And he's not that young. I mean, he's 31. Had kind of kicked around baseball a little bit. And then when they liked him in 2024, he made that opening day roster at Dodger Stadium and got hurt in the opening game against the Dodgers and then sort of dropped off for a little while. But him and Romero, I mean, they have to pitch every day apparently. I asked JoJo, can you pitch every day? And he said, yeah, if they want me to, which thank God he can because they need him every game. But that combo is great. You got to sort out the middle part. But Romero and O'Brien, I don't think anybody around the league, if you're having your draft party, Doug, I don't think people were drafting Riley O'Brien, but I bet they're grabbing him now.
I drafted Romero thinking he might get some saves. Nope. And he's not much good to you if he only pitches an inning,
Yeah.
even if they don't score against him. Fantasy baseball, he's not much good to you.
By definition, that was another comeback win yesterday because the Guardians jumped out 1-0. It's not the way we think about comeback wins, more like what took place on Tuesday night when they were down 5-2. But in this particular case, O'Brien gets yet another save. And again, because he didn't start the season as the closer, the fact that he has 5 saves, which are really in the last 2 weeks, and when he goes out there, I mean, it's a clinic. You know, it's at the moment sweat-free. Inevitably, what winds up happening, even with the Hall of Fame caliber closers, is they run into some issues. I mean, Bednar with the Yankees, you remember he lost his job in Pittsburgh and then came back, and then he was sick. But it can be a roller coaster. So they must have seen something at the end of spring that made them think, okay, he's not necessarily the guy that we want to go with. And then they tried Stanek, and probably a combination of O'Brien's positive performance and the issue Stanek's had. They've got their guy, and he has been dealing when he is out there. Here is Riley O'Brien on what has been going on for him as the Cardinal closer.
Pitching late in games, pitching the close games, that brings out the best in me. Biggest thing for me, I think, is just like staying present, pitch by pitch. I feel like in the past, you know, you give up a hit or something doesn't go your way, and then it kind of compiles and becomes a bigger thing. So this year I feel like, you know, regardless of the result of the pitch, I take what I can from it and then move on to the next one. I think that's helped me keep me in a consistent mindset.
Can we talk about Riley O'Brien's atrocious walkout song? That's from the 618. What is his walkout song? I don't know. Any of you boys know?
Yes, they did it on Friday night.
Yeah, they turned the lights on and everything.
I don't think he picked that. I'd be surprised.
It doesn't seem like his personality.
No, I don't think. I think this is what they want to do for whoever's closing the game.
Ryan Helsley had Hell's Bells. You remember that?
I can't.
Is it Spicy by Fivio Foreign and ASAP Ferg?
I don't think so.
Doug, is that what you were going to guess?
What is that?
I don't think so. I think it's some more poppy. I can't think of it.
Well, there's no way to
someone
find out.
will text it.
Let me turn to my scoreboard guy.
It is amazing how well half of the bullpen is pitching and how poorly the other half is pitching.
Wide Delta.
I mean, it is really stark. And it always amazes me that you've got, it seems like not just the Cardinals, but every team has 2 or 3 relievers that can't get through 1 inning without giving up multiple runs. Not even an inning. Some of the guys in the Cardinal bullpen, Swanson's ERA is 13.97. Pouchard was 27 ERA in the game that he pitched. Rycroft ERA 12.27. Swanson, I mentioned him. Stanek 8.59.
I think they thought Stanek would be a little more of a stabilizing influence, having been a veteran guy that maybe can kind of not be a closer. They gave him that opportunity opening. I don't know if it's because he's from St. Louis or born here, but I think they felt he'd just be one of those key pieces out there. They got to get him stabilized because you can't just have the 2 guys.
Yeah. You can have 1 or 2 that you can put in there when the game's lopsided one way or the other, but you got to have some people that can get through 1 inning.
Optimistic on Soriano.
There's a good name, yeah. Kind of quietly. And they picked him up from the Marlins. It might have been the week we were there. He might have walked over from the barbecue.
Well-dressed Tony, salesman here, texts me. I think he's right. I think it's All the Lights by Kanye. I'm pretty sure.
Right?
I'm pretty sure because they
How's
turn
that
off
not
all
recognizable. I'm sorry, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just the chorus. But I'm pretty sure that's what they do.
And Doug, is that Rihanna and Alicia Keys? Kind of a sneaker on that. Alicia Keys is in there.
But on a day game like yesterday, and turning out the lights isn't going to do anything. So I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they did, and you just didn't know it.
Yeah, possibly.
By the way, down on the farm, Doug. You like going down on the farm?
Sure.
Quinn Matthews yesterday, 5 innings of 1 hit ball and 8 strikeouts. So a nice start from him. And Josh Baez hit his 3rd home run of the season. Blaze Jordan continues to rake. He had 2 hits, and his OPS is at 1,070. Jimmy Crooks with another hit and another run scored. His OPS is at 967. So some good performances from some of the individuals down on the farm. The Memphis Redbirds lost yesterday, but they're 12-5 on the season. So you have some young talent flashing in St. Louis, and you have some young talent flashing in Memphis as well. That is a wonderful confluence for the organization. It is 7:54 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the program. Jackson Burkett is on the ones and twos, and Chairman Kurt takes your phone calls at 314-974-0101. You can talk it over with other TMA listeners in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Michelob Ultra, long time, morning after sponsor. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. And if you're getting out today for a beautiful afternoon in the St. Louis area, enjoy it with a Michelob Ultra, the sponsor of the YouTube chat here on the morning after. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you. The program's called TMA. It's presented by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios on 101 ESPN.
Sun's starting to come out. Looks like a beautiful day. Great day to stop by Village Bar, the cheeseburger that nobody ever argues with me. It's the best cheeseburger in town. You got the waffle fries, the great wings, and you have 1879 Distilling in the barn out back. They also have what's a cool little general store. It's the home to the 1879 gift shop. That general store, that's the blue building right there facing Manchester, east side of the Village Bar. That is the home to the 1879 General Store. They open it Saturdays for the tasting room, noon to 5. They also sell merchandise in there. You can grab yourself a bottle of Red Barn vodka, also maybe a hat or a shirt. Really cool merchandise. It's a neat spot, and eventually I think we'll open that up. More hours, little patio out front. As the weather gets better, look for that. All things 1879 Distilling on that website to read about the history, the heritage here in St. Louis, and check out all the different products, all the awards that they have been winning. All of it one spot. Village Bar. Great to meet your friends. Take the family, have lunch, happy hour, watch the game, and make sure to stop by that general store, 1879distilling.com.
This is Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The final Blues game of the season this evening right here on 101 ESPN as they take on the Utah Mammoth. Pre-game at 5:30, puck drop at 6:30 right here on 101 ESPN. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
So, Doug, here you recognize Rihanna. And this is Riley O'Brien's walkout music, apparently, when he comes out to close the game.
Really?
Jason Mott's in the 2011 World Series was Marshall Mathers' Lose Yourself from the 8 Mile soundtrack.
Okay.
But later on, as the song builds to a crescendo, Alicia Keys joins in.
Oh.
And I don't know how many people know that. What
No.
percentage of the audience do you think knows that?
1%.
You think, Jackson?
Papers wonder, when do we hear the swear words?
I listened back to it, too, and I feel vindicated.
Well, there was a texter who said they believe that the IT kind of got bleeped out. And so most people thought they heard the full word.
Right. But I'm steadfast in my...
Steadfast eyes.
Well, you need to stop working so blue.
Good for you, Doug.
Fella.
Good for you. Doug, the end could be near for LIV Golf, and that's tough for you. I know you've always been a Crushers fan.
Yeah, I really have been. That's my team.
But
Them my boys.
The end. They were covering it yesterday on the Golf Channel, like the biggest story ever. And I guess at one time it was a huge story because it crossed over from sports to a geopolitical discussion with the Saudi PIF involved in funding it. But after years of losing money, Yasser Al-Rumayyan, also known as HE. Doug, do you know what HE stands for?
His Eminency?
Excellency.
Excellency.
You like that?
Okay, so, no.
Said that the situation with the war in Iran and the ramifications throughout the Middle East, they had to reallocate dollars for that, and so therefore they are now reconsidering their investment in LIV Golf. So,
but they didn't make any official announcement, correct?
They are saying they're moving forward with their event in Mexico. However, per the Golf Channel yesterday, Rich Lerner. I like that Rich Lerner. Anybody know who Rich Lerner is?
No.
He's like the main anchor on there. Strikes me as a trustworthy sort. No BS. And he was speaking with sources at the LIV Golf event yesterday, and many of the players said they had not been paid at all in the first quarter. And I thought, oh, this is like AM Sports Talk Radio here.
Similar, yeah.
What if they got a used gift card on the LIV tour?
Bryson, here's $28 to the Egg and I on Manchester.
Sounds very specific.
Yeah.
But they didn't officially say they're shutting her down. But a couple of years ago, don't you think it would have been a bigger story because there was still the big names and it was the idea that they could threaten the PGA in some way. And by now, people have kind of just said, screw LIV. It doesn't matter. Like, it has no real value, so nobody cares.
I see here the CEO, Scott McNeil, says the season is at full throttle.
Yeah.
As planned, uninterrupted at full throttle.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I trust Rich Lerner. And listen, now if they get them their money today before they tee off, then I would imagine the guys will go, okay, let's go get them. But
you think there's a chance they wouldn't show up and play if they don't get paid?
They were debating whether or not to play the Pro-Am in Mexico yesterday, and the guys did wind up playing the Pro-Am. But, again, Rich Lerner, who isn't like some, guy that tweets for attention. He's, I would imagine at this point in his 60s and, just a straight shooting anchor, but connected, was saying, I've talked with sources with some of the players, and they haven't been paid in the first quarter. So considering what's going on, if they don't get paid, they're not going to play, which seems like a fair position to take. I also wonder how the hell it's gotten to a point where they didn't get paid. The first quarter is over, so I don't know what that's about. So, yeah, I mean, either way, like you were saying, Martin, it's a non-factor at this point. I would imagine that, I guess, to save face, although I don't really know why they would care, they're using the war in Iran to cite as a reason to pull back. But at some point, just like any business, if you are taking absurd losses, you just go, okay, it's not sustainable. So perhaps they would go the direction of sponsoring golf events, like they either have businesses that sponsor teams over in the Premier League or Aramco with events. That might be the direction they go, as opposed to this ill-conceived golf league that you could acquire a bunch of players, but it was never something that really captured sports fans in the United States from a viewing standpoint.
Yeah, then they have to be realistic and say it just didn't happen. We got all the big names, had that cute sort of formula early on, the LIV, Doug, get it? LIV for 54.
Yeah, sure.
3 holes, some team golf, everybody will get all excited, and then people largely just say, we don't care for your product. So
now I suppose some of these players, if LIV does die, have to worry about whether the PGA Tour will let them back on. They gave them that window there for a while for the former major winners and guys who won the Players Club. They could come back, but that has expired. I would assume the PGA would take them back.
So I watched an interview with Trey Wingo, former KSDK anchor, who now has his own podcast network, and coincidentally, just yesterday, I believe it was scheduled, and then this news broke of the situation with LIV, and so understandably he was going to take advantage of the moment with Brian Rolap, the CEO of the PGA Tour, to ask him about this. And Rolap said, I've always said with regard to players from LIV, we're going to do whatever is in the best interest of the PGA Tour. However, they've experienced some pushback for what they did with Brooks Koepka, because a lot of guys are like, well, we could have gone, and then all we could have done is just come back. So they're going to work with the players on how to handle the situation if this does come to fruition, and it is not final, that Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, and whatever other players on LIV Golf that you'd be interested in, but I'm not sure there are a whole lot left at this point.
I think is one.
Like Cam Smith strikes me as a guy who got the money, and at the same time, I'll be honest with you, I might go the Cam Smith route myself and just go, okay, didn't look like he had been hitting the gym particularly hard based on how he looked at Augusta this past weekend.
Well, they have good food there.
Delicious treats. And didn't play particularly enthusiastically either. He got himself an Open, got himself a Players, sick putter, but I think he's kind of got other interests. And you know what? Whatever age he is, I would imagine he's in his late 20s, maybe early 30s. Guy's set for life. So I don't know. It just depends on what your competitive fire is for it. But that's you look at the Masters leaderboard, and if I'm not mistaken, there was one guy who was really a factor, and that was Tyrrell Hatton. So understandably, you get that money. For some, you lose that motivation. And while Koepka can certainly be prickly, I guess would be a word you could use, he missed the competition and wanted to get back in there. So God bless him. And I think one of the reasons why he went to LIV in the first place was because he thought he was never going to get back to the form he had when he won the PGA here and won 2 U.S. Opens. And to his credit, he was able to do it again and got his health back. But I think he thought he was done. For the most part, that thing was fueled by guys who were closer to the end of their career than the beginning of their career, with a couple of exceptions. So LIV Golf could be coming to an end, and we will monitor what takes place with the event this weekend.
Isn't the best comp the USFL when they tried to take on the NFL?
And they received $1 after the litigation, literally
which was
$1.
And then it was tripled because you get 3 times federal court, whatever. They won $3.
Trebled, I believe, Doug. That happens in the appliances kind of
It does
special
from time
market.
to time. You go from 2 days to 6 days.
But they did get the big names from Herschel Walker and Doug Flutie. They kept signing the big names. Instead of going to the NFL, they threw money around like LIV and just thought we could eventually be a threat to the NFL. Not so much.
No.
And it lasted about 3 years.
I think
Is there any other comp? And like nobody did that in baseball. And I mean, the ABA already existed, right? And they kind of merged.
ABA,
but they didn't come along to take down the NBA, did they?
Didn't get to keep the spirits.
Yeah.
Kentucky Colonels.
I think with that, they just thought there was enough interest around the country that more cities could support professional basketball.
What about team golf?
Probably not so much.
Isn't one of the reasons you love golf is it's one player and you're kind of watching their round? Like the team idea just doesn't fit with golf.
To me, it never had any juice.
Licks has got to be so butthurt. That's from Doug's jockstrap. Mr. Licks, Martin, I know you're new here. Mr. Licks has been a huge proponent of LIV Golf.
I saw him issue a statement yesterday.
Mr. Licks?
Yeah, on the text line that he would be addressing all of this soon.
We would.
I reached out for comment this morning.
Did you?
Can't wait to hear.
What a journalist.
Wow, look at you, Chairman Kurt. Did you get a comment?
He's tied up at the moment, but I did tell him that his silence is saying quite a bit.
Yeah.
There you go. Push him.
Doug, watch this. His silence speaks volumes. I
Okay,
think that's
I
what
don't
you
know that
say
it
in the
does.
comments section.
Maybe he just doesn't have anything to say. And speaking of other leagues, remember the World Hockey Association? They stole.
As Gordie Howe was the big signee.
And Bobby Hull, they had a few players tried to steal.
Did it
some big
last?
names. No, it didn't last very long.
Brian Henson, who got sideways with Licks over Licks' criticism of his teammate at the Indianapolis Star-Tribune, Greg Doyle, but I don't remember what the story was. Maybe it was the Caitlin Clark question at the press conference. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What was the question? You say, you're looking good today? No, wasn't
No.
that
Held
weird.
up like the heart sign, right?
Yeah, what she would do when she was at Iowa a bunch.
Brian Henson saying Licks' silence on this is deafening.
Yeah.
So Brian Henson fires back at Mr. Licks. Let's see. Mr. Licks says there's a lot to be said. And when the time is right, I am ready to release a statement. Do not forget what LIV did for the PGA Tour. And Jackson, don't forget, I kept receipts. Finally, let's just say I'm working on a 59-hole tournament. That's from Mr. Licks. So it sounds like he's got his own idea.
Yeah, the idea that, like, yes, it did improve the PGA Tour, but to say that like, then they accomplished their goal is total nonsense.
So we're moving goalposts?
100%. They were trying to. There was a moment where it looked like the PGA Tour was going to merge with them, and LIV was going to kind of run the show. And how quickly things have changed. It was a major. I mean, there was a real concern that there was going to be more of this foreign money influence in other leagues. You know, like what was going to stop them from starting a basketball or baseball league?
So here's the thing. I think they still can and could. The issue with this is the actual model was flawed. Right. It wasn't a compelling model. The only reason the players went there, and by the way, understand, don't blame them, was because they were throwing generational is an understatement amount of dollars at them. But the model was not compelling to the general public. The model got attention because they were able to throw money around and players were going, my God, why wouldn't I do this?
Right.
So that's what it was.
I don't know that it would work in any sport. If some other foreign billionaire came around and said, I'm going to steal Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani from you and pay them $1 billion apiece, people wouldn't stop watching Dodgers and Yankees baseball. They wouldn't care about these teams that those two went to.
Right, I agree. But at the time of LIV really coming on the scene, there was a concern, like, it's a slippery slope thing, but like, where does this end? You know, like, what could this possibly be? Piff owns Newcastle United in English Premier League, which no one would have ever thought was going to be the case. And the EPL was like, okay, we can't turn down this amount of money. Once you have the amount of money they have, which is endless, things get a little dicey.
Licks doesn't have time to comment. He's too busy washing cars at his Enterprise lot, making Ole Miss proud. That's from Beer Cats.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
So Licks
has time to text in, but he hasn't had a chance to call in?
That's correct. That's correct. But he will be issuing a statement. It's because he's working on his 59-hole golf league. That could be interesting. And remember when the USFL tried with Trump at the helm, same business model, and it failed? That's from the King of Creve Coeur. I thought he owned a team. I didn't think he was in charge.
He owned a team.
New
Jersey Generals?
Yes.
And did he have Jim Kelly at the quarterback for a while? Was that, what am I thinking?
Jim Kelly definitely started there because I think he initially was drafted by Buffalo and said he didn't want to go to Buffalo. And then he wound up becoming the hero of Buffalo. They could literally do it with the NBA overnight, and Jackson cries at night thinking about it. That's from Mr. Licks.
They could do it, and a few players would go, but the American public would still root for their team.
Right. I mean, you have these media deals in place right now where, like the NBA and the ESPN and the NBA and NBC, like, they're just, it would be, you have to pick another chance, CW it up like you did with LIV, and I just don't think, even if they were to get, you know, if there's 25 bona fide superstars in the NBA, let's say they got 10 of them, I still think it wouldn't work.
I think no one would care. If you play in another country somewhere, no one's going to care about it. Because the players come and go. even the best players are going to be gone at some point, but the team's still going to be there.
Right. Now, if it did bring a professional basketball team to St. Louis, then we could talk.
You'd be interested in the PIF's St. Louis team, the Spirits of St. Louis return.
Yeah. Well, they would certainly maybe change my tenor on that, though. Unlikely, though. I don't see any of that happening. I think that they would have to go back to the drawing board with their plans. Because, yeah, if they just started another tour where it was pretty much the same thing as the PGA Tour, then, maybe it could. But the team thing was always confusing. Forcing them to wear those ridiculous outfits, even in the majors, I think it really leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Having to see Bryson DeChambeau wear the same damn thing every time he goes out there.
Crushers.
Yeah.
Guys, what's the chance of a swingers league taking off? Of course, I'm on Team Swinghaven. What could be some other fun names around the area? That's from the Swinghaven board members. So there's a league for swinging?
What's the competition?
How do you determine who wins?
There was some sort of sexual Olympics that went on in Europe a couple of years ago. I remember us reading a story about it. Yeah. I keeping score seems like it would be kind of tough.
A lot of judges involved.
Well, that's why anytime, yeah.
Kind of last man standing thing.
I guess. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
I think if someone tried to steal MLB and actually made it where people could watch, it might work. That's from Marsh's Burner.
I don't think it would work.
Our local soccer guys starting to clench up a bit, given that City is drawing less fans on account of sucking and tying most games, which is not a real result in competition. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
Yeah, well, I'm with him on that.
Last night it was a rather barren Energizer Park, but it was not an MLS match.
U.S. Cup.
U.S. Open Cup, which
Tulsa dug on the receiving end of a 4-0.
Yeah, they're the scissor holders, or their team.
I might become a fan.
The FC.
Their name are the scissor holders?
Look it up. FC, I'm getting it wrong. FC Tulsa. Their name, they used to be the Roughnecks, but then now they're the something with the.
Boy, we are out of names.
Scissor Tails. Scissor Tails.
What is that? What is
I think it might have to do with the oil industry. I'm not sure. Scissor Tails. But a lot of their fans, the diehards, folks that they wave the flags, the supporters section, they were really mad a couple of years ago because MLS stopped being part of the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
And there's a heritage there, and the soccer people in town said that's the oldest running tournament. So they were really mad. And then it came back, and I think part of the attendance issue have been some of these folks who are still protesting. They're mad at the
brother.
And so otherwise, I don't know, but it was shocking to see how few fans were there for what was, Doug, a 4-0 win over those
scissor holders. Running with scissors.
Scissor tails. But now they're on to the round of 16, Doug.
Okay.
At the U.S. Open Cup.
All right.
But my guess is their next MLS match will be largely full.
Scissor tail is Oklahoma's state bird.
Color me intrigued.
Even if it is, it's a lousy nickname for a team. Even if that's your state bird, find something else. Find a different bird. Because most people would hear that and say, huh? What? And that's not what you want for your team, is it? No. Okay, well, we'll try to come up with a better name for the Tulsa squad.
I was shocked they had a name because usually it's just FC or SC.
The early MLS teams all had more Americanized, like, city team name. And then as the league expanded, they kind of switched to more of the European style.
Couldn't they be Tulsa FC United?
Tulsa FC, yeah, they could be.
They're in the USL.
Everybody's FC.
The Missouri State bird is the Battlehawk. Learn it. That's from the 314. How about that? I didn't know that.
I thought it was the Bluebird.
Nope, Battlehawk.
It's the Battlehawk.
That's from the 314. You can email InDesign Air Heating and Cooling. Email today comes your way at 9:45. That's on the Polos Plus dossier. You can also text in anytime you would like, 314-399-9646. And, of course, call in at 314-974-0101. James Carlton is a longtime TMA sponsor and Tim McKernan Show podcast sponsor, and I am a longtime James Carlton State Farm Insurance agent client. Going back to 2019. 314-961-4800. That is how you can call, or you can go to carltoninsurance.net. Imagine, as you build out your budget, you sit there and you go, man, I could save I don't know, $5,000 this year just by switching to James Carlton? That's a real thing. Think about that. Think about the amount of money you are saving monthly by switching to somebody who gives you incredible customer service with his team in Webster Groves. That's why Jamie Rivers did it. That's why Brandon Kiley did it. That's why Alex Ferrario did it. That's why Jackie Papers did it as well. 314-961-4800. Or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. The program's called TMA. It's presented by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. It's so good. Chairman, what is the latest with your top 20 hit on the Billboard charts?
So I didn't fork over the dough for the level with the distribution to see statistics.
Oh, no.
So I don't know how many streams. It could be thousands. It could be tens of thousands. It's hard to really know.
Yeah. What about getting played on stations here at Hubbard Radio, like 106.5 The Arch?
It seems to have stalled out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Courtney about it. I know it was in their possession. I'm not a pushy guy, so I didn't want to follow up too hard, but maybe I should persist.
Courtney's great people. I bet she played. I bet they'd like it, too. I bet
It
her audience
sounds
would
like
like
their
it.
kind of music.
Absolutely.
I had somebody reach out to me. They were at a high school baseball game this week. Actually, it was at my old stomping ground down in Imperial, and there was some talk about trying to get it played in between innings at the Seckman High School.
Second wear Navy caps?
We're royal blue.
Oh.
But I think there's talks of them like having a game maybe to honor me and like play it pregame.
Oh, really?
Oh, holy strode.
Chairman night.
Holy strode.
They're going to honor you. My honest answer about the Arch is they would probably play. You just need to. They probably forgot. I think if you push it a little bit, they would absolutely
Courtney's
play.
A+, and I guarantee you they would be like, "Oh, this is pretty catchy," and the audience would like it.
Yep, I agree.
I see Courtney in the hallway. We're gonna get this across the finish line. That's what we're gonna do.
I think it's very doable.
Yeah. Then I've got. We've been working. Polos Plus is the sponsor of the dossier, and I put it out there just like for somebody to fix my refrigerator. Somebody to work with us on graphic design, and I sent papers, and Chairman Kurt didn't want to bother you boys with this last night, but a lady by the name of Sarah Phelps, whose brother is a listener to the program, reached out to her. She's a graphic designer at another level. I said, here's the concept, this Navy Caps on the Road t-shirt, and she came back with something. And Papers and Kurt gave it a seal of approval.
Yeah, it's sweet.
She did some good work.
Yeah.
I couldn't have come up with that crap. I don't know how to do it, number one, but like what she did. There's a real movement for it, Martin. There's a real movement for it. And it's something that we've been asking players about for years, ever since they switched it. Doug, was that 2012 or 2013 when they switched to the red caps on the
Was it the
road?
same year Rascal Flatts performed at the World Series?
Wow.
These correlations can't be ignored any longer.
And producer Joe said it the next morning. The Cardinals will not win another World Series because Rascal Flatts sang the national anthem. And sure enough, they have not won another World Series game at Busch Stadium, or another World Series game, period, for that matter, since
Been a
that
difficult
happened.
cross to bear.
Yeah.
When I was making the music video for the song, was going through some highlights. Chris Carpenter, Game 5 of the 2011 NLCS in Philadelphia, having his jersey ripped off.
Navy cap.
Albert in
Brad Lidge.
in Houston off of Brad Lidge.
Navy cap. 3 home runs against the Rangers. Navy cap.
It's a classic look.
Ken Boyer have a Navy helmet when he hit the Grand Slam in '64 against the Yankees World Series? Probably. I bet he did.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're just going to get tired of us. We're going to wear them out. It's a war of attrition.
But we were really feeling like there was some movement going, and then they went on the road to play a team that wears red caps, and they said, no, we're not wearing the Navy caps.
Just to spite us.
Yeah.
That did seem like that was...
petty.
Yeah, or calculated.
Kind of like how the University of Missouri would reveal its football uniforms right at 10:01 because they knew how much it pissed off Doug.
Yeah.
God,
they didn't want their feet in the fire.
Uniforms.
I actually was told that some of those Instagram reels that we made that got a little traction, they made their way up to the offices of...
Which Instagram reels? I don't know what you're talking about.
Doug would do a live reaction to like the horse in the creek.
The
and
videos.
Yeah.
Oh, from the Missouri football uniform reels?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And what happened?
I was just told they were aware of it, and not long after those videos stopped coming out.
That is true.
Yeah.
It was the Texas A&M game where I think they might have been undefeated going into College Station 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of like, ooh, look at this. And then Texas A&M just stomped them. And they had some ridiculous thing where like an offensive lineman was in a barn strumming a guitar for the uniform reveal. Doug lost his mind.
There was a couple really bad.
Team gets stomped.
That was the Theo Weiss blanket. He found a
the
blanket. Oh, God.
And
That
the
was
Rams
Kirkwood
rules.
stole his jersey. Remember that whole twisted story? Like, did they broke in the hotel and took his...
Yeah, well, no, that the story was that the broke into his hotel and left a blanket because the cornerback's nickname was Blanket.
From Kirkwood.
That's right. Pioneer
cover you. And then he wore the blanket into the game. And Missouri proceeded to get their ass beat so bad. And I don't think Weiss caught a ball. But, yeah, I colored me dubious that this kid broke into the hotel and left a blanket.
The Rams rules was another example of just a ridiculous marketing ploy that needs to be called out if it's that stupid.
God bless you, sir. That was unbelievable. I remember I was in the building. That was on September 11th, 2011 against the Eagles. Michael Vick, your starting quarterback. Yeah. And I remember watching it and I'm going, oh, my God. And it was a Demoff production.
It had to be.
Well, I have an email from a friend who sent it to me because he responded to some season ticket holders that thought it was stupid. And he wrote back and said it was my idea. He actually said that in an email.
Ram Rule 2. Shout it out.
He's got a first down. Every first down for the Rams, our announcer says, St. Louis, you scream.
First down.
Ram Rule 3.
No one does that.
On third down, let's help our Rams by making some noise.
Everyone does that already.
Ram Rule 4. He goes down and get it, in trouble, sack. Every time we get to the quarterback, I want to hear you yell, sack!
No, we're never doing that. Stop it.
Ram Rule 5.
Josh Brown to kick it off.
Leading up to every kickoff, let's slow clap it out.
Oh, yes.
Not a chance.
I'm getting fired up.
Never, ever doing it. Now stop it.
We could open the show every day with a slow clap.
Hey, Doug, how else would fans know when to cheer at a football game? That's from the unknown DJ.
Yo, sack. Have you ever one time heard anyone say that?
That one's crazy because all the other ones, like, you kind of know what to do in those situations, but no one in the history of a football game has ever screamed out, sack.
What would the rest of the country think of us? if we're all yelling, sack, we'd be ridiculed by the whole country.
It's kind of like Pat from SNL.
Salesperson here at Hubbard Radio, Rick Reardon, just texted me, and Doug, Ken Boyer did hit that grand slam in the 64 World Series wearing a Navy cap.
I think he did, yeah. Yeah. The big moment.
We're going to get this across the goal line.
Okay.
I think eventually they're just going to cave.
Sarah Phelps' wonderful design shirt and Chairman Kurt's sick beat. We will not give up the fight.
Was
fight
Wayne
continues.
Wearing a blue cap when he struck out
Beltran?
You better believe he was, brother.
That's
You better
in the
believe
video
he, bro.
prominently.
Yeah, you better believe he was.
It's another big moment.
I was at Bush yesterday. Photographer Mike Border, great photographer at the 2 Fox. He said, I haven't been in this building as a photographer since 2011. And I said, well, not a whole lot's happened since then, to be fair.
Yeah.
Since 2011?
Yeah, that was the last time he worked.
Really? I mean, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
I know, I was being facetious, but... When was Rascal Flats?
Rascal Flats was Game 4 of the 2013 World Series.
13, okay.
Yeah.
That's the line of demarcation.
That's pretty. And producer Joe called it with his landing strip.
Haven't won anything since.
Yep. When was Gretchen Wilson? Was that around that time?
I don't
as
know
well?
that one. Johnny Gill was a regular, too.
Ooh.
Yeah, which always struck me as a little surprising. But if I'm not mistaken, Bill DeWitt III's wife... like produced with him or worked with him or represented him or something like that.
She's
Johnny
involved
Gill,
in the music industry.
Johnny Gill of New Edition fame. He, of course, replaced Bobby Brown when Bobby Brown got a bit sideways with the band.
Did he?
Yeah, and then he went out and did My Prerogative as a reference to him before you could subtweet people. Yeah. And then he did that hip thrust that you like so much.
No.
You can text in 314-399-9646. That's the Air Comfort Service text inbox. You can open up your YouTube app and type it over. And their 294 friends are doing so, like Scorsy, the Devil's Crotch, Kevin at the Lake, and Dr. Xander Malwin.
Answer to that, they just want to be upset. Mm-hmm. And I would say, let's all take a deep breath and wonder, is this the battle we're going to choose today? Or are we going to choose love?
Don't choose love.
I can't imagine that playing anything on AI would get you sideways legally with the
I don't know. Doesn't seem...
music industry. I can't think that it would.
I have no idea.
I know they're fighting against it for obvious reasons.
Doug, wasn't Kyle Loesch wearing a Navy cap when he fisted Skip Schumacher? That's from Rusty Pecker. I believe so.
I thought that was at home.
Well, I mean, he got him multiple times. Unfortunately, the point where you would see little Skip running away from Kyle Ocean celebrations.
Wouldn't Skip just run to the clubhouse after a win? After
he'd have head on a swivel looking for Loesch. And unfortunately, I was, as I said, ever since going to his first Cardinal game a couple weeks ago, my 4-year-old is obsessed with baseball. Doug, my arm's tired from throwing pitches in the backyard.
How's he hitting?
He's a lefty, throws right, and he's inheriting my genes, so obviously he's going to be huge.
Yeah, he'll be a big kid.
And the David Freese home run.
Yeah.
And so we replay that, and he's all excited seeing that, and then I'm watching it quite a bit here over the last couple of weeks, but I can't help but see Skip Schumacher just bouncing happily, and he's like waving him home like he's Pop Warner there at third base, and then you see Kyle Loesch pop up, and you go, it's about to happen. You know it's about to happen.
Tough. Thinking about your arm being tired after playing catch, I really want you to come in one morning with
pitching to him,
like an old '90s style, like really big wrap around your arm.
How hard are you throwing the pitches?
Are you trying to get him out, or are you letting him hit it? Are you just like, listen, son?
No, I mean, I'm throwing breaking balls. Going, hey. I mean, what are we doing out here?
Chasing that junk.
Yeah.
You own the inside of that plate.
Absolutely.
He's drilling.
Lance Lynn was wearing a Navy cap when Tony La Russa had him come out of the bullpen in the 2011 World Series, much to the surprise of Tony La Russa himself. Doug, that's Alan Daneville.
All right, that's another shining moment.
Get Zabzinski loose. Send Zabzinski in. You said Lynn? No, man, maybe it is the first time where his muttering kind of caused confusion. Let's get this guy loose. He said, get a guy loose, Doug.
How do you think he felt when he saw Lance Lynn
give me zip.
mowing out of the
Lynn
bullpen?
Zip? Oh, zip. Yeah,
squinting really hard.
They go out. They have a mound visit. Yeah, real quick. What are you doing here?
Bud Smith's no-hitter was in the Navy cap, Doug.
There's
San Diego.
one.
That's from the Gene Steckschulte Wicked Slide piece.
Another one.
Mark Whitten's 4-home-run game.
September 7th, 1993 at the beautiful Riverfront Stadium.
Albert's 3-home-run game in the World Series.
Todd Stottlemyre had a great May start in Pittsburgh.
That's correct. Three Rivers, 1996.
Yeah.
What do they all have in common?
Navy caps on the road.
Caps.
Yep. I guess no further questions, Your Honor. I mean, at this point, I think we've presented our case.
Seems like a no-brainer.
No. Hey, kitty, jump into a wood chipper after you've turned it on. That's from the Veiled Prophet, who's had enough of Kitty Bates in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat.
And he had to add, after you've turned it on.
Right.
Like we didn't understand the humor before he said that.
It's like when the iron says, the warning on the iron says, don't use while wearing the shirt.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design air, heating, and cooling email today. That's on the Polos Plus dossier about an hour from now. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. That is how you can participate in the program. You can also text into the show 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text inbox, and of course call in Callier and Thompson phone lines 314-974-0101. You can talk it over with Kitty Bates. In the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, 307 subscribers are watching the program right now. Subscribe to the TMA STL YouTube channel. Once we get to 6,800 subscribers, Doug gets gold bullion. So if you want to see Doug with gold bullion, that's how you do it. Subscribe to the TMA STL YouTube channel. The program's called The Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Universal Windows Direct has a wonderful opportunity for our listeners to save some money and improve your home. Universal Windows Direct is making the decision to upgrade your home easy with their buy 2 windows, get 2 free offer. Plus, there's no limit. So the more you upgrade, the more you save, and it only gets better. You'll have no payments and no interest for 24 months with $500 off your entire project. Work with their team of experts to give you your home the fresh feeling it deserves for years to come. All you got to do is call 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today. Buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. 24 months with no payments and no interest and $500 off your entire home improvement project. It's Universal Windows Direct, 314-334-2522, or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. It is TMA 101 ESPN, the program presented to you by Brown and Crouppen here on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Friends have gathered today, Doug. These Cardinals have people buzzing, and they're in there and they're talking it over and celebrating a team that's just one game out. Remind you the 85 pennant race with the Mets? Mets are pond scum, remember?
Well, maybe not yet.
Yikes.
But it is so nice that they got off to this good start because I was so worried that they were just going to be horrible.
Just get to the summer and be decent, and then I think people will go.
I'm not sure they're not going to be horrible.
They still got time to be horrible.
Yeah, I mean...
But at least they're not horrible now.
You know, but, I mean, here let me give you a reason on why they're going to be put to the test here over the next few weeks. Huh? There you go. Now, you go to Houston. They got nothing in the rotation. They got all kinds of injuries, and they got problems. They should be able to hit there. But the way that the rotations are shaking out for their opponents here over the next few weeks, they're going to be put to the test. An offense that already has a little bit of a drop-off once you get to the bottom of the order. They got Alcantara coming. They got Meyer coming when they go to Miami. I don't know how it'll time out with the Mariners rotation, but you have Castillo, Gilbert, Wu lurking when the Mariners come here. You're going to have to get at least one of them. Might get all of them. Then you got Pittsburgh. You go on the road. Pittsburgh, Doug, the first place Pittsburgh Pirates. It kind of brings you back to the Doug Drabeck, Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke teams. And with Skeens and Keller. Then they've got a little time with the Dodgers. And, of course, that's Ohtani and Yamamoto, Glasnow.
Drysdale.
Koufax
might get a spot start.
Brewers are lurking. They've got some boys who can deal. So the point being, you know, listen, I'm thrilled. But with that said, you know, I don't really want to have my head up my ass either. No. And there's certainly some reasons to go, okay, well, this is great. They scrap. I mean, they've probably maximized what their possible record would be. You're not looking at a whole lot of games where you're going, oh, they should have won that one. I suppose that one in Washington would be the one that stands out. But
now you probably won a couple that you shouldn't have won. So
right,
probably about right. It's got to be exhausting to them. Every homestand ends, and people like me and Frank are like, hey, you guys aren't terrible. I mean, that's more or less the narrative that they've heard now for 2 months. And you just hope that just stay decent.
If you linger around 500, you usually, at least in the wild card hunt,
you hunt. That's absolutely right. I mean, the team that won the 2006 World Series was a team that was barely above 500. You're welcome to get involved with your thoughts. Brad Thompson's going to be with us on the Polos Plus dossier. We'll find out where he's playing golf while talking with us. That's coming up. And then we've got the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Doug, Chairman Steve is on the Collier and Thompson
Who is he?
Phone lines. Good morning, Chairman Steve.
Okay, stop screaming at us.
Isn't that nice when somebody is that excited to join the presentation?
I don't want him to get hurt.
I'm fired up for this ball club.
Are you?
Yeah, no. What do you think, Doug?
Well, I think I'm pleasantly surprised because I was not optimistic coming in. I didn't see Jordan Walker becoming the next coming of Aaron Judge, but that's what he's been so far. So it's been fun to watch.
I didn't see this comeback ability. Like that 5-2 the other night, I was like, this thing's over. And then we, and things are kind of falling in their favor. An error, a wild pitch or two, and we win. So it was fun. Then, Doug, what is the deal? You're drinking hot cocoa before you go to bed?
I happen to have some with me right now. I just did it last night. I don't do it every night.
Okay.
Why would that upset you?
You're a grown-ass man. It's just hot chocolate. Drink some coffee, buddy.
I don't care for hot chocolate.
Well, it's also bedtime. So you wouldn't have. I'm just saying you probably wouldn't have a coffee at bedtime.
I am. No. He said he has hot cocoa now.
Yeah, I do. It's not like I drink it a lot. I just happened to have some last night, and I liked it so much, I happened to make some just a moment ago.
Doug, it doesn't seem very healthy to me. A lot of sugar.
It isn't. I know, it isn't.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's why you hit the play button. He's an embarrassment.
Usually I have hot tea.
I had like 8 beers last night. What's unhealthier, the hot chocolate or the 8 beers?
Or the what? 8 beers, did you say?
8 beers. 8 beers.
That would be worse. That would be worse.
What was it, Steve? It was a Wednesday night, which I love. It's a great night to pound them. But what was the occasion?
Well, we had some uninsured driver hit my wife. She's okay, but not her personally. It ruined her car, so we had to go buy a new car. And then she wanted to go to that antique mall over on the hill. So I dropped her ass off there and went to Milo's and watched the game. And then we went to Sasha's after that, which is what's his name's place, Piddle's place.
Sasha's is also known as Piddle's place?
Was it one of your hangs?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
He goes there.
I do go there, yeah.
There's some talent around there. It's a good place to sit and watch.
So your wife went antiquing in the middle of the day and you just got hammered.
I was going to go to the old ball game, and then someone just texted me to speak up. So I guess I'm not talking loud enough.
Well, you
I
had
got
8
the
beers
phone
last
closer
night.
now. Is that better? Yeah, but it was rainy, so we didn't go to the ball game. So I just hung out and watched it, and then it was a good day though. I enjoyed it. You know, buying a new car is like horrible. Still, they haven't improved that process that much either. Unless you go on like Carvana and overpay, and then everything's easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't go to Carvana. Go local, buddy. Keep it
you need
local.
to go to Munganess.
Yeah, I did.
Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota.
There
Sponsored
you go.
after the morning after.
Get it in there. Get it in there. Nice.
Better believe it.
But also, I was back to that Rams rules.
Yeah.
In the video, there's those guys who have the face paint on and the makeup and like the wigs, and they used to sit right near me, and they were real clever guys. You know, they had like the jerseys with the 69 on the back, and then one of the guys' names was Short Butts or something like that. They're real clever. But it was like when they would do it every single game, even when we were getting like 2 wins a year. And it was just so sad to watch them by the end of the season. You know, they're putting on, you figure if you're putting that face paint on and the wig and all that stuff, it's going to take you, like an hour of preparation before the game? And they had to do that, and we'd be just getting clobbered. And it just looked so sad with them over there still cheering and standing up. And I'm sure annoying the people behind them because they were standing up the whole game. But it was it brings me back to a sad time when we lost our Rammies.
Yeah.
Steve, the text line, I would call it the Steve rules. It's not going well for you. Shut up, and that's the nice one.
Yeah. Read the mean ones. I
Where's
like
the
mean
barge guy?
But 30 minutes ago, you guys were chatting about iced tea.
Chairman, anything else?
No, that's it. I just
Very informative call. Very informative.
Oh, you sound defeated.
Yeah, don't let the text inbox get you down.
No, it's all right. You want to talk golf? No, no, it's good times. Good times.
All right.
Well, all right, Steve.
I'm going to go hike Sedona with somebody. All right. Love you guys.
There he goes. He's going on.
There you have it.
All right. Immediately, somebody just said, hang up on this turd. And that's just not nice. Sharon's Ladue pool boy. This was more polite. Okay. Thanks for calling.
I rarely watch TMA on YouTube, but today I flipped it on. Who is the blonde bearded fella? Did you hire a Mennonite to run the board? What happened to that virgin guy? It's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Oh, yeah. What do you know?
Are you going
ruse.
You're going for the Mennonite look?
No.
There were a couple of early texts that said you were looking sharp today.
Yes, there were.
Thank you.
I think the beard's coming in.
Yeah, I need to trim it.
You look great, Jedediah.
What's the sideburn situation? How's that going?
Yeah, I need to clean that up too.
But it looks like there's hair coming in between that area. Where
that's never the issue. I just want to clear that out, or at least fade it into the sideburns.
Faded.
But I don't have guards, so I'm kind of, it's a laborious process.
Oh, for crying out
Did
loud.
Jeff Burkett drop you off in horse and buggy today? No, you're looking good, pal.
Thank you.
15-yarder for Bill.
Guys, Steve is fun to have sex with. That's from Ray King.
Gosh.
Hey, Papers, you got to grow those sideburns, man. Thanks. That's from Big Tuft.
Don't say man at the end. Dazed and confused.
You really needed that advice, too, didn't you?
Total Power Washing LLC says needs to let it grow more than trim.
No, I got to trim like the bottom part, and I got to trim up.
I did some trimming today.
Yeah.
I did some
Look
trimming.
good. The beard looks good.
Dug a 1 guard up here and then a 4 guard.
Right. Yeah. Thicker towards the bottom.
And then no guard up top.
Yeah.
This disaster.
How many days of a week do you shave your head?
Probably 3 to 4.
Okay.
Because the little shrubs will be all over the sink.
Right. And if you were to do it, if you were like, let it go for like a week or two, would it just be,
I'd look like the bishop.
It'd just be tough city?
No, it wouldn't be tough. I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but I would imagine it would look like how men used to bald like in the 80s before guys started shaving their heads.
A real Gene Hackman look.
Gene Hackman had that?
Yeah, the receding hairline.
I don't remember that as being part of his look.
No, I think you're misremembering.
I remember him dressed up as a lady in Birdcage. Was that 96 with Robin Williams? Remember that?
Years.
A senator from Ohio. And
I'm
then he
thinking
dressed
like
up as a lady.
Hoosiers
At the end.
era Gene Hackman.
I don't think of him. No,
I picture
Much
maybe
more
a
bald.
slight comb-over-ish, maybe.
Gene Katie, not Gene Hackman.
Well, no,
maybe is it
both Indiana coaches.
Yes.
You telling me that's not a receding hairline?
Well, it's a receding hairline, but I'm talking about like how there's nothing on top.
Okay.
And then, guys, this is in the 80s. I realize you weren't around. But like, it's like what my dad has now. But they would grow it out on the sides.
Right.
And
Larry
there'd be
David
nothing
look.
on top. Larry David.
Yeah, the horseshoe.
But when guys God help you if it happened in your 20s. Yeah, the horseshoe, 100%. Guys in their 20s, but more commonly probably in their 30s and 40s, they would grow it out long on the sides. And this is in the 80s. And then there was nothing on top.
Yeah, it's no
I
good.
mean, that's got to be, wow, that had to be tough.
The only thing worse would be like the Friar Tuck look, where you just leave just the top of the head bare, but you have bangs somehow.
That's odd.
Doug, remember Crazy George? I think he started the wave for the Houston Oilers. He was a super fan. I think he had the horseshoe. You're talking about just real puffy on the side.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing
George
on top.
Costanza.
Yes.
Shipley Pibbles just texted that. And he said, Tim would be the sexiest Costanza. I'd lick that scalp. That's from Shipley Pibbles. That kind of deal.
Sure. Okay.
That kind of deal. Yeah. That's what it'd look like, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't grown it out. I'm about 4 to 5 times a week, too. If I let it go, I'd have the cul-de-sac or horseshoe. Sometimes I want to let it go just to see, but then I decide I don't want to lose half my assets and only see my daughters every other weekend. Doug, that's Alan Dadeville. That's the decision that we have.
So he thinks if he grows hair, other women are going to steal him away from his family?
No, he's saying his wife will leave him.
Yeah.
Oh, because he loses his hair.
But he'd grow it out, and then you'd have that 1980s horseshoe thing that I was talking about.
Alan Dadeville has he clean shaves.
We owe a debt of gratitude to Michael Jordan and to Bruce Willis, the Balds.
Yeah.
We owe a debt of gratitude.
Yeah. Notorious balds.
Yeah. They were the breakthrough agents we needed. They blocked at the offensive line so we could run, and we're grateful to them forever. God, man, especially when you're losing your hair. I'm picking up Rogaine, Walgreens in Columbia while going to school at Missouri. What the hell's going on?
Although in Die Hard, Bruce Willis has... You mean
In Moonlighting.
Yeah.
He also had the thing going.
Yeah.
But then eventually...
high peaks.
I mean, now guys just get hair transplants, and they got ridiculous.
You got to go to
full heads of hair.
Turkey for that? Is that what
It's certainly an option, Martin. Certainly an option.
Somebody pointed out Terry Bradshaw. He's had that
That's
for
a nice
a long
play.
time.
That's a nice play. That's a good example as well. Brad Thompson going to join us here on the other side of the break. The program's called TMA on 101 ESPN.
Hey, this is Jackson with the SportsCenter update. That's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Cardinals win yesterday, taking the series from the Cleveland Guardians. They now head down to Texas to play the Houston Astros. Off today, back in action tomorrow. 7:10 first pitch with Kyle Leahy towing the slab for the Redbirds. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back. It is the Morning After, 101 ESPN. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with you on the show. Jackson Burkett on the ones and twos. And you can email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, which will come your way on the Polos Plus dossier at 9:45. The Morning After at InsideSTL.com. Joining us right now to give us his perspective on the Cardinals taking 2 of 3 from the Guardians, splitting the homestand, and perhaps where he is hitting the little white ball around Houston today. Doug, it's Brad Thompson on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Morning, Brad.
Good morning, gentlemen. How we doing today?
Oh, wonderful. What do you got going on today? That's what I want to know.
Big off day in Houston.
Yeah.
Definitely going to hit a little white ball around. I'm gonna do that in the afternoon. Going to be a warm one. But playing a little place called Deerwood, apparently, and I guess it's where they film Tin Cup. So I'm going to lose my ball a bunch of times on the par 5. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Strong.
Kingwood, Texas.
Yeah. What's that?
It's in Kingwood, Texas.
That's good to know. It's going to be a long Uber, I think.
Hey, here's the logistics that you would probably know as a broadcaster and as a former player. A trip like this, clearly they decide way ahead of time, hey, we could stay in St. Louis, fly the next day, or get to Houston the night before. Who makes that call?
You know what? I'm not sure who ends up being the one that absolutely pulls the trigger on that. I'm sure it's a combination of Haim and Ollie, probably, between those two. I think it just kind of depends on what city you're going to and having an off day, right? Is it beneficial to have an off day and relax in a city where there's, some things to do, or what's the weather look like at certain spots? I think it's a lot easier now with a younger club, and certainly this doesn't pertain to everybody, to have your off days on the road. You don't have as many guys that have kids, right? Yeah. Like you have a bunch of guys that are probably okay, and a lot of them have their girlfriends and wives that travel with them or meet them on the road. So I think it's a lot easier logistics-wise for a young team to be able to spend your off days on the road.
Notice, Tim, in Detroit, I think they stayed back here for an extra day.
Yeah, I guess it's destination by destination.
You said it, I didn't.
Okay, I just noted that.
You take your time getting to Cleveland, but San Diego, you're probably going to want to get right out there.
Early.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Mike Claiborne road trip schedule, I've noticed, if you monitor these things.
has the best road trip schedule ever.
Yes,
ever.
It's not a coincidence. Who is in the pairing this afternoon?
So today I'll be playing with Ricky Horton, who is always my golf partner on the road. The pride of Puerto Rican baseball, Chris Conroy, who is the trainer for Team Puerto Rico. And Mark Walsh, the head clubhouse manager.
Walsh, he's playing golf? Those guys work so hard. Good for him.
Yeah, yes, exactly. They actually get to have an off day and actually do something fun instead of working like crazy. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun group.
Everybody bring their own clubs, or do you rent?
So it kind of depends. Everybody brought their own on this one. There have been times like fuller trips where you can't bring some of us can't bring our sticks, so you might have to rent. I'm not good enough to care either way. I can rent sticks. I can use mine. It really doesn't matter. I just have to pack a lot of golf balls. I think we've talked about this in the past, but it is very true. My golf bag is a whole lot heavier right now than it will be when we get back from Miami.
Oh, yeah.
I pack a lot of golf balls. So it'll be, but it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it, and I've enjoyed. It's even better to go golf. I mean, I've listened to your intro. It's better to go golf and enjoy an off day when the team is actually playing well, things are going well, vibes are good. There's a good energy around this team.
There is, man. That's something that has been a theme in our audience's texts into the show since the opener, Brad, is that, all right, they're fun to watch. I think part of it is they come back, and we saw another example of that 2 nights ago. I felt like, and I think you guys did, sensing it from you and Chip on the call, like, okay, hold on a second, maybe this thing isn't over. It seemed like it was going to be listless. Martin's talked about it. You know, that would have been 4 in a row, not really much of a spark, and then all of a sudden Weatherholt hits the home run, and you go, okay, well, maybe. And then the Guardians give him a gift on what was a tough ground ball to the right side of the infield for Brito, but they capitalize on it. And then they carry that momentum into yesterday's game with Dustin May having his back-to-back starts on the homestand. So I think when you see a team in the dugout fired up and you see a team respond when they're down late in games to keep fighting, that gets fans to invest. That's my read on where things are 18 games in.
I totally agree with you. Look, energy is something that is contagious, right? And when you're seeing those guys do it, you get into it, whether you're in the ballpark, you're watching at home. And I think that a lot of, Cardinals have a very traditional fan base. You got fans that have been watching for decades. I think this team has like a little throwback old school in them, like the way that they're going about it. You look at that ball game yesterday. That ball game was won because of like fundamentals, good base running, going first to third, being aggressive, tagging up from first base. We saw Vic be able to do it and read one. We've seen Burley do it, be able to read a throw. Like all of these little tiny details. Baseball fans should love stuff like that. Yeah, we like seeing home runs. I love seeing JJ pop a couple of them. Love seeing Herrera get his first one. I'm sure that one felt good for him. But it's like all of like the little tiny things that you focus on in spring training that you're working on every day that can feel monotonous at times, especially when you're going through them. But you're seeing them lead into some victories here at the big league level. So as a young player, it just makes you continue to want to dig in and do those little things right. And so I just feel like the style in which they're playing is great. And then there's a new hero every night. It's not like, hey, you have to wait every single time for Walker, for example, which is awesome what he's been doing. But you don't have to wait for Jordan to be up in a spot to feel like you have a chance.
I couldn't help but notice when Gorman hit that fly ball that dropped, and he probably should have been at second, but stayed at first. Then they took him out. You think they were just trying to get Urias' defense in at third, or were they sending Gorman a message?
Oh, I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, he absolutely should have been on second. I think the look on Ollie's face kind of told you everything as we panned to him after that. And it's one where and I think Chip and I talked about it on the broadcast, it's one where you don't need to tell him that he's supposed to be there, but you're probably going to tell him anyhow that he needs to be there. There's got to be hustle out of the box. I know that this season offensively hasn't started the way that Gorman certainly wanted it to, but those are things that you can control, right? Just being able to bust it out of the box. So I still do think that he's coming out of that game regardless, because late in the game, tight game, you're going to put in your best defender over there at third base. We've just seen him do that too many times. But I do believe that both boxes were checked on that one.
I know managers hate when we say anything surprise you. You don't have to worry about it. You're a broadcaster. About this team, any player or two that maybe there's more there than you thought back in February?
I think that there's a few. JJ is still surprising me, and it's not like the fact that he hit a couple of home runs. I'm incredibly surprised by his patience. I'm shocked that he is able to take as close a pitches as he has at the big league level. He never feels like he's pressing. He never feels like he's forcing anything. To me, that part of it has been really impressive. Another one on the flip side that I'm surprised about here recently, and it's not a positive surprise necessarily, but I'm surprised of how things are going, is Stanek. A couple of the last games for him have been a struggle, and you go back and you look at the stuff, and the stuff is really good. And, yeah, he makes some misses inside the zone, but I feel like he shouldn't. I'm very surprised the way that he's been getting hit the last couple of, 2 of the last 3 at the very least. He had the tough one against the Nationals and then gave up a 3 spot the other day. That one is surprising to me, and I feel very confident that one is going to level itself out, because you got to have at least your 3 big guns at the back end of the bullpen. He certainly got the stuff. He certainly got the track record. But that one has surprised me. Do you guys have a guy that stands out for you, like surprising what he did? Obviously, Jordan, what he's done. But you guys have another one?
I think Riley O'Brien's dominance
love that.
has been I mean, and I could be off on this. You would certainly know, Brad. I don't think it was necessarily clearly established coming out of Jupiter. I sensed he was going to be the closer. It's why the Southside Seaman Fantasy Baseball Club drafted him. But at the start of the season, Stanek was the guy that was out there in the opener, and he also was out there in that Saturday afternoon game that they blew the lead against the Rays, but won in extra innings. So I don't know what the dynamic was coming out of camp. What was your sense on that role?
Yeah, I think that it was purposeful by Ollie to not name a closer and just kind of ease into things and see how they go. And the natural progression of the season pointed this way, where Riley O'Brien has always had the skill set to do this, but you don't know until you put that guy in that spot and see how he reacts. And that has been one of the biggest things with him is just the confidence to throw the ball, just confidence that you don't have to nibble, that you don't have to be perfect, that you have to get ahead. And that's been the biggest difference with him. Remember a couple of years ago, like he was still throwing 100 with sink, but he would nibble and he'd fall behind, and then inevitably, like he'd be either walking somebody or backing up a base. Like just didn't have the confidence in the stuff, and that's been the biggest difference. So the way that it's set up right now with O'Brien at the back end being your closer, it sets up perfectly. And JoJo's having a monster season. Again, Stanek's going to be important. I was really happy for Swanson to be able to have a good day the other day. Still going to need him to fall back into form like he was a couple of years ago. But this bullpen's got to be tight. I think we talk about it every week. Like this bullpen's got to be very good. This defense is going to have to be very good because we've seen how many close games this ball club is going to play. And you can't just go to Riley O'Brien. You can't just go to JoJo every single time in Stanek. Like other guys are going to have to be pitching in some of these tight games. So that group, to me, is just one of the more pivotal groups for this team's success.
And O'Brien's 31. I know he got injured that first game in 24 after making the team, but it's amazing how a guy with that clearly has that kind of talent. It didn't all come together, opportunity, injury, whatever it is, but there's probably a lot of guys in the big leagues or in AAA who have tons of talent. It just doesn't quite all match up. And, for him, this moment, like he was talking yesterday, he's not an overnight success. He's been doing this for a while. It's just the first time he's really been in the spotlight.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I bet there are a lot of guys that are at home and not playing anymore that never quite got the opportunity to get or unlock something that they had in them. So a special skill set, obviously, when you throw 100 miles an hour, you're going to hang around for quite some time, and somebody's going to want to take a chance on you. But it comes down to right place, right time, like being in an organization that will give you the opportunity that you need, and especially at the big league level, because you could put that guy in AAA, he'd mow everybody down, but then you get into a big league stadium, you got the third deck, there's lights, there's fans everywhere. It changes things for a lot of guys. And then being able to unlock it yourself, like having those around you who can maximize your skill set and then you believing in it. I feel like at 31 years old, he has gotten to that point and looks like he's going to have himself a nice big league career in front of him.
Offensively, obviously, Walker's been fantastic, and Burleson has hit well, but almost everybody else in the lineup hitting way below what you would expect. So maybe there's some reason for optimism there. Mason Wynn's not going to hit a $188, and Herrera's not going to hit 194. So if they get the offense going around Burleson and Walker, maybe they really have something there.
No, you're absolutely right. The top of the order, up until the last couple of days for JJ, top of the order really has not done a ton, right? So, and it's been Walker. I believe 6 of his 8 home runs had been solo shots, very little traffic out there for him. That's going to be big. You're starting to see Burley hit the ball even harder. He's been dialed in. Herrera, while the hits haven't been coming a ton, he did get the home run in the first inning on Tuesday, but the walks have been there. Like, to me, that's been crazy impressive. He's got 18 walks on the season already, so he's not expanding his zone. He's taking what the opposition is giving him, and that this guy is a proven offensive weapon. And I agree with you with Wynn. There's no way that the season is going to look like that. I feel like he's a little jumpy right now. He wants to make things happen because physically he feels good again. He got the knee fixed up. He's feeling good, and I just feel like he's trying to prove it with every swing instead of letting the game come to him. But I think that there is more there offensively for a lot of these guys. It was great to see Church have that 3-hit day yesterday. He had the game winner 2 nights ago. Like, there top to bottom, there are guys that will contribute. I don't look at this lineup and say, all right, 7, 8, 9, like this is gonna flip over quick. Got to get back to the top of the order. They have a skill set. Everybody in this lineup has a skill set that can help you. So I think that there are more signs pointing to more offense here in the future.
Brad Thompson, our guest, he joins us every Thursday here on the Morning After. Doug, he's going to be ball striking today.
Yeah, sounds like it.
At the course where they shot Tin Cup, 1996. Kevin Costner, Rene Russo, and Don Johnson.
Hole 13, Brad.
Hole 13 is the hole?
Hole 13 is the
13 is the fake 18. That's what I hear. I'm going to let the big dog eat.
Look at this guy.
How far can you hit it off the tee when you really get a hold of it?
It's tough to say, Doug. It really is. In a straight line, I don't know. Straight line, not sure. Any dog leg right, I'm really good at those. But I don't know. We're going to find out today. I'll let you know, and maybe I'll videotape me hitting a few into the water there on 13.
Text it to us.
Is Chip not invited, or does he not play golf?
I feel like there's a lot of tension between you.
Yeah, Dan Cedar, listen in.
Let's not do that. No, we're not driving a wedge. Tell you that right now. Well, Chipper does not. Chipper doesn't golf a ton. He did years ago. And Ricky and I tried to get him into it this year, and he said he would. He hasn't yet. You asked a question earlier, too, about bringing clubs or renting clubs. Chip is a large individual, so renting clubs probably isn't going to be a good thing for him to do. He's about 6'6", like he's going to be playing with some twigs. So if he wants to actually dedicate to this, I think he's going to have to get himself some custom clubs and bring them on the road. So you guys, when you get an opportunity to talk to him, you work on him, because we would love to have him out on the course. But it just hasn't been his thing. So today he'll probably be diligently digging into the Astros all day. If I know Chip. Maybe walking around the greater Houston area, working on his fitness. But, no golf for Chipper, but we are still best of friends.
Okay. I thought maybe it was just too loud for the golf. I could hear, Middleton, hey, Brad, like, shh. I can't picture Chip on the golf course with the Jim Nance voice.
He is not a quiet broadcaster, that's for sure, which I love about him. I don't think he'll be calling golf anytime soon.
We'll enjoy the round today. Yeah, I'd love to see some video of the festivities there on the famous 13th hole from 1996's Tin Cup. Brad Thompson joining us every Thursday here on TMA. Cardinals and Astros this weekend, then off to Miami. Brad, appreciate the time, man. Enjoy the round.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take it easy, brother. That's Brad Thompson with us here on the Callier and Thompson phone lines, which are, of course, named after him. We've got some breaking news. Oh, look at little Jackie Papers.
Yeah.
Look at little Jackie Papers.
Mizzou signed somebody?
Thanks for the development down in
We got a
Lawrence.
development, and you're going to find out about it. And Gabe Yarman and I texting, he says, yes, this is important. We'll tell you what coming up on the other side of the break. This is TMA 101 ESPN.
In the market for a new vehicle, it's pretty simple. Go to autoloanpro.com. You'll get the best rates possible, little to no money down. Doesn't matter the situation. They understand everyone's got a different story, and if yours involves a little hiccup in the past, they can still get you that vehicle, and they're going to work with 50 different lenders to make sure you get the absolute best rate, little to no money down. That's what they do at Auto Loan Pro. Financing a car can get tough. The only thing to know is to choose the pro, Auto Loan Pro. They are part of the LIV family. Great website with the vehicles right there for you to select, and also grab that playbook. They put it together, something you can download, something you can read later and just understand better how the credit industry works. That's what it's all about at autoloanpro.com, making sure you get a vehicle with the absolute best rate possible. So get online, pick out the car, and learn a little more about the credit industry while doing that. Make sure you work with our friends at Auto Loan Pro. Pick out the car, check it out. The website's got Robert Thomas there. Great site, autoloanpro.com.
Welcome back. Morning After 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. We're in the Mark Hanna Evergreen Wealth Strategies 9 o'clock hour. Mark's online at evergreen-ws.com. That's Mark Hanna at 314-889-0503. He's a financial advisor, and I want to make this crystal clear. Get a financial advisor. Doug, watch this. Full stop.
Okay.
You like that when somebody says full stop?
Not really.
What if they tweet it and say full stop?
Need to be encouraged as to when I should stop listening.
Full stop. Well, that's it. And Mark Hanna is the person I would tell you will have a great conversation with, who will make you feel better about the world and better about your situation, because you've taken the first step to get things right for yourself, get things right for your family. Somehow he just has that character trait. 314-889-0503. Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies, evergreen-ws.com. Mark Hanna, sponsor of our 9 o'clock hour. Joined by Brad Thompson in the previous segment here from Houston, where the Cardinals will take on the Astros this weekend, then off to Miami for 3 before coming back to St. Louis and taking on the Mariners. Then back out on the road they go, 10-8 on the season, and took 2 of 3 from the Guardians. There is some breaking news that has little Jackie Papers bouncing up and down like he's riding a Sibian in that chair over there, Doug. Gabe DeArmond and I texting to get to the bottom of it. The Colonel says this is important, and what is important is the following. Bryson Tiller, who scored 13 points and had 5 rebounds and 5 blocks against Missouri, has just committed to Missouri. And you know where he's coming from? Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk. How often have you seen this? Bryson Tiller leaving Kansas to come to Missouri. The 24/7 sports report on him when he came out of high school is the following. Tiller is long and powerful with a developing inside-out skill set, recently measured at 6'10", with a 7'3" wingspan, 9'3" standing reach, and 11-inch hands. His physical measurements are off the charts. His frame is just as impressive. He is sculpted. He is powerful. Doug, he is also headed to Columbia, Missouri, and Jackson Burkett's buzzing.
Hell yes. This is who I wanted the Tigers to get ever since the portal opened. I thought everything should be pointed at trying to get Bryson Tiller, establish a real high-quality big man, something that they haven't had in the past 2 seasons, and something I think that's kept them back a little bit. And now they got Bryson Tiller, who, outside of his teammate at Kansas, Flory Badunga, who's going to Louisville, was probably the best big man in the portal, one of the best big men in the portal. So huge addition to Dennis Gates to kind of cap off a really nice week that they've had with getting Jameer Johnson for Providence as well.
Why would Tiller be available? Mizzou just have more money to spend in Kansas?
I don't know.
Everybody's available.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Badunga had an awesome season for Kansas, and he already is from St. John's, then went to Kansas and now going to Louisville. So it's just, it's the ever-changing landscape of college athletics.
I guess if you can get even $1 more million, it doesn't sound like much money with the cash you're throwing around, but that's a huge thing. If one school wants to pay you $2 million, another says here's $3 million. I guess you go.
I think he's also high on what Dennis Gates is building with the freshman class and then the already additions to the transfer portal. It was between Missouri and Miami. He canceled his visit to Arizona earlier this week, so the experts thought it was between Mizzou and Miami, and Mizzou wins out.
Good to beat Miami at this.
Yeah, right.
What about a guard? Can we get a point guard? That's got to be high on the list, right?
Yeah, but they might just be able. They might feel comfortable putting Jason Crow in that position if that situation. And T.O. Barrett hasn't gone anywhere yet, so
he's just in the portal.
He's just in the portal.
And the kid from Tennessee who played about 3 other places, big rebounder, right?
Yes,
more
he is,
size,
yes,
more beef.
Yeah, he is less so an offensive threat, more so really good rebounder and defender.
I hope Tiller enjoys losing to Bradley in the first round of the tournament. I look forward to watching The Verge lose his mind again on YouTube in March 2027. Doug, that's the St. Charles hermaphrodite who is not as excited about the signing.
No. I wonder if Kansas tries to fire back and steal a Missouri player.
Like T.O. Barrett?
You'd take that trade.
Yeah, you'd make that trade.
I would likely be okay with that.
Tiller started 31 of 35 games for the Jayhawks last year.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
You want me to be impressed we went to space again? Big deal. John Glenn already did that. Doug, that's from Old People's Facebook.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah.
I'm glad to see the reemergence here of OPFS.
I'm a huge fan. Clearly, Tiller is a guy that wants to go to a program where you're a 10 seed and a one and done in the tournament. Suck it, Libby Jazz Hands. That's from Lady Sonia's Teacup. I don't know if Lady Sonia's in Lawrence. I don't know if Lady Sonia's in Champaign, but either way, Lady Sonia's Teacup, not excited.
The sun is already set on the 2025-2026 season. We're moving on to bigger and better.
Let it go.
Bigger
on to next week. Coach, you just lost. We're on to next week.
Bigger and better.
They are now the number 4 transfer portal ranking class and number 1 college and high school ranking class. That's from the 314.
Does Tiller become the best player Mizzou has?
It's tough to tell at the moment. Jason Crow you'd hope would be the answer to that. He just signed with Jordan.
But
Brand.
of the guys that we've seen play,
yes, Bryson Tiller is the best player.
He's better than
guys
anybody currently on the roster.
Well, I'd like to get a massage from that guy. 11-inch hands. Are you serious, Doug? That's from Wedding Tackle.
Okay, here we go. I knew that was going to come up. I just knew it.
Jackson, will all of this make next year's first-round exit more disappointing?
Oh, Martin now.
I'm just...
Look at the way Jackson's staring you down.
Daggers.
Who's Marquette getting? Some kid from some Class 1 school, Mishiv Class 1 school.
Hey, we tried
homegrown.
We tried to be homegrown, okay?
Homegrown shotgun.
Is he bailing on that?
He is bailing on
that.
Is he? He's looking for guys in the portal?
The top hey, we beat UConn.
I remember in the all-blue game.
It didn't work. Trying to stick to the old way of doing it. It didn't work. Noble attempt.
Sure.
Didn't work.
Sure.
11-inch hand. I'm looking at my hand. I guess we measure from the base of the palm to the middle finger.
Always measure from the base.
To the middle finger. It looks like maybe 6 inches. And this guy's got twice the size of my hand.
Yeah.
Biggest hands I have shook, Cam Jansen. I mean, they'll just... The man's hands, they just swallow you.
He always talks with his hands, too. He's always talking.
I shook hands with Orlando Pace and came back with a stump.
Some NBA game I went to, they had all the hands of guys who play in the league around the basketball, and you could measure it. And Kawhi Leonard's hands are unfathomably big. He grips the ball like it's a volleyball.
Yeah.
SLU spent too much money paying you guys and has nothing left for the NIL. That's from Sparky from St. Charles. MIZ doing business as Gateway Dreamfields. I believe he was the originator that we were being paid by St. Louis University to talk about them.
Well, I think they're going to be...
that wound up winning the Atlantic 10. Yeah. And beating the hell out of Georgia in the NCAA tournament.
I think SLU's going to get a couple nice pieces.
And they got a bunch of guys coming back, too.
Yeah.
But this is super exciting if you're a Missouri fan. I mean, this is outstanding. This gives you a reason to be fired up.
Yeah, I believe it's the first player to directly go from Missouri to Kansas. If you remember Parker Braun, brother of Christian Brown, Brown, I should say. He went Mizzou to, I think, Pepperdine, or one of those California schools, and then to Kansas. Santa Clara, and then to Kansas.
Jackson, talk to your guy and let's get something on the books at Enterprise next year. We're available. Time to stop ducking. That's from Kwame Voyukas the fourth, Doug, if you recall. Huge Billiken fan.
I've been saying I would love Mizzou and SLU to play every single year. I'm be super on board with that.
All right. So you're going to talk to your guy?
I guess Dennis Gates. He follows me on Twitter.
Does he really?
Yeah, he sure does.
Well, then suggest it on Twitter.
DM season.
Yeah. Hey, Coach.
Be proactive.
Hey,
email in. We got the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That's coming up on the Polos Plus dossier here on TMA. Anything is available to be podcast. Subscribe to the TMA podcast and subscribe to the 101 ESPN podcast. They are brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. That's Jason Gosrow's business online at schaeferdoor.com, SCHAEFER door.com. Jason had the wonderful prize that the poor film student won for winning the Email of the Day competition presented to you by Design Air. In the month of March, the poor film student went in the $5,000 garage door. Schaefer Door Company providing that garage door. Jason in studio last week to present it to the poor film student who flew in from Los Angeles. Schaefer Door Company, partner with LiftMaster. Schaefer Door online at schaeferdoor.com. Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day coming up next. It's TMA 101 ESPN.
For over 135 years now, Stifel has been a trusted name in finance, headquartered right here in downtown St. Louis since 1890. So what does Stifel do? Pretty much everything money-related. Wealth management, check. Banking through Stifel Bank, of course. Own a business? They've got a full-service investment bank for that, too. Basically, if it involves finance, Stifel has a solution for you. With 12 offices across the St. Louis region, more than 400 nationwide, Stifel combines local experience with national reach. Unlike many firms, Stifel isn't bank-owned. They own their own bank, and that independence allows them to focus on one thing, doing what's best for their clients. It's a philosophy that has made Stifel one of the fastest-growing wealth management firms in the world. Their tagline says it all, where success meets success. That's why partnering with TMA just makes sense. Lots of it. Stifel and TMA, where success meets success. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
It's TMA 101 ESPN. Doug, if you want it, I got it for you. The Design Air Heating and Cooling email the day.
That music will give way to this music.
There it is. The year was 2014. The scene was the Inside STL CBS Sports 920 Fantasy Football Draft. Jim Edmonds and Chairman Kurt were teamed up on a team known as the Killers. Ha. I can confirm that team did exist.
Yes, it did.
Joe Strauss was upset because he never agreed to pay into this Shishawali league. But the real star was a part-time fill-in host named Dre Montez, who had the #1 overall pick. When it was his turn again, at the end of the second round and the start of the third round, he stunned everyone by selecting St. Louis Rams quarterback Shaun Hill and the Seahawks defense with his next 2 picks.
Oof. Shaun Hill, really small helmet. Give my boy a bigger helmet.
Lived at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Did he?
Left-handed, maybe? Was he left-handed?
Well, I don't know.
We'll get Dre on. I know a lot about not paying your employees, and while maintaining your season will continue at full throttle, and it's great. How's LIV Golf CEO Scott O'Neill? We going to bring that back? How about that whole deal? Don Mattingly said it made him think Dan Marshall was in that body and running around here bouncing paychecks. All this talk of upstart rival leagues reminds me of how during the 2022 MLB lockout, your stoner former board op workshopped a rival street fantasy baseball league that could be live streamed on PocketTube. Now, how that will generate enough revenue to pay the players enough to risk their careers, we haven't quite worked out, but I do believe in it. Doug, that's Buck Swope, DBA, the recessed lady's breast.
Okay. Buck Swope.
The 2026 coach pitch baseball season has begun. And it is safe to say that the snack sign-up sheet is now nothing more than a veiled competition between baseball moms. Outside of the regular season, these moms are best friends. During the 10-week season, it is cutthroat. The following list verifies the insanity of these unhinged baseball moms. Week 1, Xander's mom, juice boxes and orange slices. Week 2, Bryson's mom, Capri Suns and individual chip bags. Week 3, Jackson's mom with 3 X's, Uncrustables and Gatorade. Week 4, Riker's mom, mini Neapolitan pizzas.
That can't be a real name.
And cloth napkins. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Got upgraded.
And Chairman Steve next week brings Manhattans for the kids.
Week 5. Doug, is it Bridger's mom? I don't know.
I've heard that name.
Bridger's mom. Freshly baked cookies from a field-side mobile oven. Week 6, Mavericks' mom, and it's Mavrix.
Oh, gosh.
Chick-fil-A nugget trays and full sauce spread. Week 7, Zayden's mom. Zayden?
You sound like last names.
Filet mignon sliders and truffle fries. Week 8, Billy's mom. Fieldside smoothie bar with personalized Stanley tumbler cups. Week 9, Axton's mom. I don't know these names. Axton. Fieldside smoothie bar. Or no, there's a build your own taco bar and churros. Is it Jarritos sodas? Chairman, thank you. I always lean on you on the Espanol. Week 10, Braden's mom. Caviar tasting station and catered charcuterie and ice cream truck and live acoustic music. It's time to go back to the old days where your coach was just the parts manager at the local car dealership who wore short nylon softball shorts that barely contained his package when he was taking a knee. It's time to bring back the moms who brought Twizzlers and oranges as snacks. It's time for a Little League reset. What say you, Doug? That's from Chet's neighbor.
Chet's neighbor. Rather lengthy, but entertaining.
Morning, boys. Watch this. Bryson Tiller. I barely knew her. Ha! That's from Ray King.
Ray King.
Good morning, lads. I'll keep this email. Tim. Not short and sweet, but tough and virile. Did you know that Rerun briefly dated 80s sitcom star Blair Warner for almost 2 years? It's not talked about enough. Actually, that's not true, but you dolts are out here living your best Ron Burgundy life, believing whatever is put in front of you. Do better!
Oh.
All right, that's it. But also, I'm trying to hook up. So when's the next TMA Live show? That's from Biscuits with McGravy, H.E. So he's His Excellency as well.
Biscuits with McGravy, X.E.
H.E.
H.E.
And finally, so the Dotem is announced and suddenly Tiller decides he needs to be in Missouri. It's that simple. What a month it's been. And Doug showing off his ankles a couple weeks ago to now discussing his 6-inch hands. Just slow down there, fella. We know that going private can use a boost like Iggy doing cameos, but not having any idea how to actually get to the money in his account. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of HD2 T-shirts to gift on a first date. And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. We shall vote and announce the winner at approximately 10:55. And speaking of the Dotem, well, you can register your foursome tomorrow at 8 a.m. sharp on 101ESPN.com. Join TMA for the return of the Dotem, the golf tournament on Friday, May 15th at Oak Valley Golf Course and Resort, presented by Cutwater Canned Cocktails. Get your foursome together to join Martin, Doug, Jackson, and myself for a day out on the course, including breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, an after-party with food from Texas Roadhouse, all your Cutwater Canned Cocktails, and AB Beer and Seltzers, the 100 West Dental closest to the pin competition, the Evergreen Wealth Strategies Longest Drive competition, and more. Registration opens tomorrow at 8 a.m. sharp, with a portion of the proceeds benefiting Birdies for Bipolar, Michael Wellington's charity. Find all the Dotem information now at 101ESPN.com, and you can sign up your foursome tomorrow right at 8 a.m. And there will be ball striking, and there will be donuts, and there will be fried chicken, and there will be Texas Roadhouse, and there will be Cutwater, there will be beer, there will be seltzers, there will be the closest to pin competition, and the Evergreen Wealth Strategies Longest Drive competition, and it's all included. It's all included.
That's nice. It's a fun day.
And it's a glorious day. It's taking place May 15th at Oak Valley Golf Course and Resort, presented to you by Cutwater Canned Cocktails. We will take a break and come back with more TMA here on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. I'd like to tell you about Roof Restore. Roof Restore is online at notanewroof.com or by calling 314-279-ROOF. Roof maintenance is now a regular part of home ownership. The days of waiting for a hailstorm and then paying your deductible are over. You can go to notanewroof.com and you can tend to it right now, because Roof Restore is a locally owned business with decades of experience in the roofing business. Roof Restore treats and maintains existing asphalt shingled roofs, adding up to 15 years to the life of your existing roof at a tiny fraction of the cost of replacement. The best part, it's up to 90% less than the cost of a roof replacement and guaranteed to extend the life of your roof by up to 15 years. Matter of fact, I'm going to have them come by my house next week and give our roof the Roof Restore treatment. They're online at notanewroof.com. Loyal TMA listeners online at notanewroof.com. It's Roof Restore.
This is Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Warriors come from behind and defeat the Clippers last night, 126-121. Steph Curry turned back the clock with a 35-point effort. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
Bah!
What are we in, 9-2?
No, I think we might be in 10-1, Martin.
I'm staring at 9-2.
9-3 or 10-1?
9-3.
Ah!
Because 9-2 is the Joe Buck segment that we glossed over with audio.
Oh, but
audio.
we're not going to. And now Chairman Kurt's letting me know we got something going on. What do we got going on?
What's going on?
Surprise guest?
What?
Martin, you booked a surprise guest?
No. Papers?
I got someone on the line.
Okay. Is this somebody that you booked?
No, but I think it's someone we want to hear from.
Definitely somebody we want to hear from.
Okay. Doug, a surprise guest on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. Good morning. You're on 101 ESPN.
Top of the morning to you.
Oh, Suppan called back. He
is this Jeff Suppan again? He's back?
We thought you were kidding.
He is back. God bless you, sir.
Are you just...
You know, I gotta tell you guys two things. Just two things.
Okay.
Okay. I promise. Only 5 minutes. I'm gonna only take 5 minutes of your time. So yesterday, yeah, I know. Yesterday, I was feeling really good about drop-off. And, there's only two types of drop-off drivers in this world, just like baseball players. Those who are humble and those who are about to be. And I got yelled at by a mom today, and yeah, I know I'm always looking for perfection, and I've only been doing this for 12 years, and she thought there was only one lane. She stopped her car, honked at me, or I honked at her. I gave her a nice tap, and she's yelling at me like, "Why are you honking at me?" And I go, "Well, there's 2 lanes." And she goes, "Well, what's your name?" I'm telling the principal.
Oh, no.
My goodness.
Tattle.
Yeah, and I don't want to go to detention.
Didn't you used to call Tim or me or something? Didn't you say we were Mrs. Crabtree? Because we were always...
Oh, yeah.
We were the tattle people?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. And then I got in trouble from our interview yesterday.
No, no.
What happened?
With what?
Yeah. Well, my wife's like, "You said you were drinking Jack Daniels and smoking cigarettes when you're 12?" I go, "That's a joke. I was joking. Like that was an old baseball joke." And then I realized that, the locker room humor doesn't always translate into, the real world, and I just wanted to say, I got in trouble, and I'm not gonna joke around like that again. I'm gonna be serious.
Wow. So you did go to the principal's office.
Yeah, you did.
Actually go
24 hours.
The most important principal's office. Chairman Kurt, who is a member of our program here, Soup, is wanting to ask you a question. Chairman Kurt, Jeff Suppan. Jeff Suppan, Chairman Kurt. Go ahead, Chairman.
Pleasure to talk to you, Mr. Suppan. I was just looking back at the box score from the 2006 NLCS, and your Game 7 start really sticks out. And I was just curious, do you think your success in that game had much to do with the fact that you were wearing a Navy cap?
Wow, the Navy cap on the road is a hot topic on this show. The Cardinals have gotten away from wearing those Navy hats on the road, and we're angry as hornets about it, Jeff.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so, Chairman, Here's my rule of thumb, right? So when I first came up in the big leagues, we had 2 uniforms, 1 hat, two different tops, right? And so then as baseball kept going, we started getting the Saturday uniform, and then certain teams you go on, there was 15 different uniforms, and they would always ask me, because I was the starter, "What do you want to wear?" I said, "Listen, here's the deal. Unless I have to wear something. If I'm at home, I want to wear white. If I'm on the road, I want to wear gray, period." Okay, so then I read this comment that was from Nolan Ryan, and he said, "Superstition is a weakness of the mind." I believed in routine. So it didn't matter if if they wanted me to wear something because it was like, City Connect, which we didn't have, I would have wore it. But if I had a choice, I would wear the same thing. I like the look, and maybe I don't know though. I don't know if it had effect on my pitch selection.
Wow.
But it sounds like it did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah.
Now we've come to the conclusion. We arrived at the conclusion it did.
Wow. So when you hung up, and then you hung up yesterday and you said, all right, I'll call you guys tomorrow. You were serious. We thought it was just like a line.
This is a man who keeps his promise. He's a man of honor.
Okay, so we get carpool updates. And
yeah, you got sideways with somebody. You want to give us her number and we can take her to task right here on the program for you.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah, we're taking questions.
Okay, so what do you do after the show?
It's a great question. I like to play a lot of golf. That's what I do.
Okay, and so then do you go to the ballpark every day, or what do you guys do?
I stopped doing that about 20 years ago. Martin does, though.
I was down there holding him accountable yesterday.
So you do morning show, and then you're going to go to the game, and then you're going to stay there till 10 o'clock?
No, I don't go to yesterday we had a day game yesterday. I was down there a little bit in the afternoon, but middle of the day I get a little nap in, maybe just spend some time with my wife. I have a little in-between downtime.
Interesting. And then how much homework do you do before every show?
Oh, now we're getting down to it.
Wow.
Okay.
Hold on a second
None
now.
of that, no.
Yeah, absolutely none.
No.
Same thing that when you were on the show 20 years ago with us, same business model now.
Might watch a bit of the game, might not.
Hey, that's a 20-year run, though. I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Of being bad. You're right. You know what? So
I don't know.
You would appreciate this, Soup, because LaRussa, if he didn't like a line of questioning, would say to us, "Oh, you watch the game?" And I many times wanted to say, "Well, not really. I was driving around and I had to drop off a kid, and then I went and met a buddy of mine, and I saw what the score was, and just rolled down here, checked the box score." Like the honest answer is, no, I didn't watch the game, but we still would just fake it.
So you mean to tell me that's awesome? So he basically he's calling you out right there. If he said that comment,
yes,
he's saying, "Did you watch the game?"
Yeah. If we would say like, "Hey, it looked like Suppan was really struggling in the sixth there. Do you think about taking him out?" He's like, "You watch the game?" Yeah.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. I mean, interview. Think about Tony, because Tony was in the generation of managers that basically it went from being print only and maybe radio, and then they went to TV, they had ESPN, and now it's like everyone's the locker room must be jamming with reporters now.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah,
I would actually think it's less.
It peaked maybe 10 years ago, and now it's kind of dropped off a little bit.
It's a different breed. Instead of the older guy writing for the newspaper, you got a bunch of young guys with their cell phones out.
So they don't even use the old school recorder. They use their phone and they record it.
That's a good question.
A lot of them do.
Yeah,
I did. I shot with a cell phone.
Martin still brings a legal pad.
Yeah, I scribble.
Yeah.
Just like a shorthand.
Well, I have to tell you, I was a stringer. Do you guys know what a stringer is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So you would go and get sound, is what we would call it, for local stations, right?
This is for the paper. So
Okay.
when I was in high school, I was drafted, and then the guy Eric Sondheimer from the LA Times, I think at the time he was Daily News, he goes, "Hey, you want to be a stringer?" I go, "What's a stringer?" He goes, "Well, you just come in and you sit and you wait for high school coaches to call you, and then they're going to tell you what happened in the game, win, loss, who did what, and then you just write 2 graphs." And so I said, "What graphs? What is a graph?" And he goes, "Paragraphs, 2 paragraphs." I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Okay. Now I know the lingo." And I did it for 3 days, and it was hilarious. Dude. I might have been the worst. And so I would ask them how to spell their star player's name, and they were offended by that. If a coach called and he had lost, he was a jerk. And I basically lasted 3 days, and I was done. I couldn't do it.
Well, it's a shame you didn't stick with it because they're highly lucrative jobs.
What path did you choose, fella?
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, with the ChatGPT, I could just write what I think, and then boom, it comes out with a little thing. But they didn't have that back then, and so I realized I didn't really know how to spell very well either. And but that was like my first job, when I was playing.
We got a text here saying that you were fantastic as a, I guess, broadcaster of sorts, an interview subject on the 2006 World Series DVD. Do you remember doing those interviews where you're tapping into your broadcast/writing roots for that?
Well, first off, whoever said that, thanks for watching it. We just did a ton of interviews. I don't even remember.
They do them the day of the parade? Is that when they get you guys? That's what I feel like it is.
I think like it's accumulation. I don't know if I'm wearing the same shirt in everyone, but I don't know if they're saying like I think they do all that stuff just in case, right? And so for that DVD or whatever. But I enjoy stuff like that, and I realize that it's not always easy to remember. You know what I mean? Because when you're playing, it's like short little thoughts, right? And so, like, Martin, you were busting my chops yesterday about, like, hey, you were, this, and you said this is your interview. I did have my brother tell me one time, he goes, hey, do you think you could have some different quotes? Have the same quote every time. And I go, what's funny? So I went back to high school because my dad was the first scrapbooker in my family, so he had all these things. Do you know that that's the way I talked in high school too, about games? And but I realized that you're in a moment, and the moment's quick, and you don't have an analysis immediately. You have thoughts, and you have feelings, but it's hard to really remember. And so, like Joe
Strauss,
may he rest in
Strauss.
May he rest in peace. He called me Vanilla Ice one time, and he goes, Soup, can you just give me a quote? He goes, I know you're smart. I said, I know, Joe, but I am smart. That's why I'm just going to give you this quote, because as a starting pitcher, if we won, I wanted to give all the credit to the team, and if we lost, I took all the blame, and that's just how I did it. But sometimes in those interviews that they do, you give a little bit more because they're bringing up these memories. So
how about this? So yesterday we called you. Today you called us. So was this a Marco Polo?
Oh, nice.
It's kind of like a Marco Polo.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Look at May.
I can't see you.
All right, May 17th, we've got a big golf outing. I think the listeners would love it, and you got a lot of money. Just fly in on your own expense and come to our golf tournament May 17th.
May 15th. But yeah, if you want to stick around for the weekend, we can make it a weekend trip. Make it worth your time.
It's May 15th.
I would do it, but we're going to have we're in playoffs for West Hills baseball, baby.
Oh shoot! Okay,
yeah.
Later in the summer,
double elimination. But I am coming in.
Yeah, when is that for the 20th anniversary celebration?
Yes, I'm coming in. I got to check the date. I'm coming in for like a signing, and then maybe a weekend. I got to check the date, and. I love it.
You'll be overrun now with the TMA fans. They will show up to hang with.
Yeah, the audience is loving these random call-ins, Jeff.
Do they?
Oh God, yeah, they're going crazy about it in the text inbox. Yeah.
Tim, true story. I talked to Soup after the show yesterday. He said, "I'm going to call in just as a bit at 10 o'clock," and then today I forgot.
You forgot.
And he texted me, "What's the number?" And I go, "Oh, I totally forgot."
Well, but I gave you the I don't know emoji. I said, listen, if you don't want me on, I won't. Did. I was just, I was fired up from our interview yesterday, and I realized that I did have a lot of caffeine. I realized it. And I launched right before our interview, but I did say a lot of okays. You start to hear how you speak when you listen to the radio, right? And I try to be natural, but those ands, uhs, and your nose really come through.
It's conversation. How about this? I'm reading the text inbox. I sent this to McGreevy after he was on the show yesterday because he also is a fan favorite, your Southern California cohort. More Soup, that's from the 314, from Face Teeth. Doug, you like that name?
Face Teeth, yeah,
says,
wonderful.
Soup is the GOAT of your callers. Mahomes Longbody says, can Suppan call in every day? Pele Blanco says, Soup was a dog. And then Big Tough says, hey, Jeff, if I'm growing a beard, should I keep shaving my sideburns off to create a hairless gap between my hair and the rest of my beard? Thanks. That's in reference to our producer, Jackson Burkett, who's currently growing a beard, but has decided to shave the hair in between his sideburns and his beard, creating a little strip of land.
In a Mennonite look.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
the proper answer.
I never was a beard guy, though. I was a crooked goatee guy.
Goatee.
Well, it's funny because I played with this guy, Clint Robinson, in the minor leagues in 2011. And he goes, Soup, he goes, I always loved your crooked goatee. I go, really? And you know what's funny? I broke my jaw in 1989, and ball hit the corner and of my jaw, broke it, and my jaw set a little crooked, and I'm like, huh. And then I started overanalyzing my goatee, and I'm like, dang it, maybe it was crooked. I tried. It's hard. Beards are hard. Manscaping like that, and there's some good-looking beards out there, but I'm not necessarily a beard guy. And that was who? That was your producer?
Yeah, that's
Jack,
right.
he's the one growing it
Jackson.
right now. Yep.
Trying.
And I warned him yesterday. I said, we'll have Soup call in. And he said, okay, we're really tight in the 10 o'clock hour. I said, oh, I'm sure it'll be quick.
I know, for sure. Yeah, I don't have much to say.
Hey, we'll look forward to 10 o'clock tomorrow, you know?
All right, hey, we'll do it again.
Yes!
All right.
Regular thing. Thank you,
Let
sir.
me ask you a question.
Oh, yeah, we're taking questions.
Do you talk about the last night's game in your show or no?
Of course we do.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I just didn't know that. All right, I'm gonna try to watch.
Yeah, YouTube.com. It's the TMA STL YouTube channel. They would love you in there. Guys hang out for all 4 hours of the show and talk with each other. There's 244 guys just sitting there right now talking to each other. I just looked in there.
Talking shop about the game?
Sometimes they're talking about the game. Sometimes they're talking about the show. Some of them like the show. Some of them hate the show. And they sit in there and they talk. And many of them do it for all 4 hours. Doug wonders how they pay their bills.
Yeah, how do they support themselves?
Well, I mean, maybe they're doing it at work.
Yeah.
You know, they have a little side screen. They split their screens.
Or it could just be a bunch of your former teammates who are also just hanging out and engaging with the show. I mean, you might go in there and who knows, Farmer Jim Edmonds might be in the YouTube chat. You never know.
I did text Carp yesterday because I was thinking about just checking in on him.
Any chance he's going to call in?
Yeah, have him call in after.
I don't see that one happening.
I don't know if he's a phone guy.
Yeah,
Nolan's
not a phone guy.
either.
That's the greatest excuse for not having a guest on. Not a big phone guy.
It's beautiful. All right. Well, hey, great talking to you guys.
Yeah, great talking to you. We'll talk again tomorrow. Jeff Suppan with us here on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Just dropping by, Doug. You know what? That's a friend of the show.
Well, ours is the type of show where friends feel they can drop by at any time.
Kitty Bates says we are all independently wealthy. Doug, that's the explanation.
I know. There's a lot of hobos in there.
Poor Papers, because yesterday after...
And I was like, I kept asking about what segment we're in, because I'm like, okay, we got to be tight. Hey, but you know what? We'll adjust.
He said, we talked for a while yesterday, he was upset about naming Cody McKay. I go, it's fine, don't worry, it's fine. And he's like, how about this? I'm just going to call it 10, because I said I would, and I'm just going to hang up real quick. And I said, okay, fine. And then Papers said to me, we just got to make sure we stay on time. I totally forgot about it. And he's like, dude, what's the hotline? And it just got away from us.
I saw Soup's Grill on the caller ID, and I thought, is this like a Grape Ape auto detailing situation where they
he had a restaurant.
Yeah.
He did.
People were sending in pictures of that yesterday.
Soup's Grill.
What a nut.
There are so many fats in the YouTube chat. That's from the Salty Bald Dad from KCville. Well, we got Mike Tucker from Bellerive coming in, talking about the BMW. That's at 10:30. Also, we think he's going to extend invites to us to join
the club.
I would imagine no downstroke for us.
I think gratis.
So that's coming up at 10:30. Then we'll announce the winner of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day at 10:55. BK and Ferrario at 11 o'clock. The program's called The Morning After. It's presented by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Welcome back. Morning After 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin heading to onboarding. Chairman Kurt, Jackson Burkett with you on this presentation. We have been joined by another surprise call-in from Jeff Suppan, and I kind of get the sense that might become a regular occurrence.
Oh, that'd be good.
And that's wonderful.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll have plenty to say. And then also, you're welcome to participate in the program just like Jeff Suppan by calling in yourself, 314-974-0101. That's how you can get involved on the show. We got Mike Tucker joining us from Bellerive coming up here in the next segment on the polosplus.com dossier. And then the announcement of the winner of today's Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. The program's called The Morning After. It's presented by Brian Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Michael's Flooring, family and locally owned, over 30 years now. And Michael himself really takes pride in helping and making sure that his employees are happy and making a great living. And that's one of the reasons that they've continued to grow through the 31 years. Employees love working for him as they feel like family. And then he makes sure they are taken care of. And this then rubs off on the families buying the product as they know that they have the best interests of the buyers at heart. They're online at IGotFloored.com. That's IGotFloored.com with 3 easy-to-get-to locations in the St. Louis metropolitan area, Creve Coeur, Darden Prairie, and St. Peter's. Just come in, talk to them. You're going to see the difference. They want to make sure they suggest the best thing for you, not pushing what corporate's telling them they have too much of. It's Michael's Flooring, online at IGotFloored.com. That's Michael's Flooring online at IGotFloored.com. Welcome back to the Morning After 101 ESPN, also on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn with you on the program as we broadcast from the Stiefel Studios. And Doug, if you take a look on your right, you're going to see Mike Tucker from Bellerive sitting right next to you.
I saw him sitting over there. Hello, Mike.
I snuck in. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you in. I'm looking forward to talking it over with you. Huge event coming to St. Louis and to Bellerive in August. And if you are a golf fan or just a fan of energy and excitement in a sporting event, you're going to experience that coming up in August at Bellerive. Tell the audience what we've got going on and how they can be a part of it.
You got it. We've got the BMW Championship, which is a second leg of the FedEx Cup. So that's the playoffs for the PGA Tour. And it'll be at Bellerive August 17th to the 23rd. And it's the top. So we had this event in 2008, and it was a little bit of a different format. We were the third stop of 4. We had 70 players. So basically, you used to start with 125. Now you start with 100, and then we get cut. That gets cut, and we get the top 50.
Yep.
From there, it's the top 30 go on from Bellerive to the FedEx Championship down at Atlanta. So you're going to get basically the best 50 players in the world. And obviously, I tell people, if you want to see your favorite player play in the event that week, make sure pull for them now, because they're going to have to qualify.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the Rorys and we're going to see Scotty. But if you want to see a Ricky Fowler, he needs to start making some more putts, right? So we can get him in the top 100. But for the most part, it's going to be the best players in the world playing at the top of their games. So it's pretty fascinating. And we always St. Louis does golf really well, and we're just so happy to be the host.
I've had a friend of mine tell me that he ran into Brooks Koepka at Medalist down in South Florida, and Koepka saw that he had a bag tag from St. Louis. Koepka walks past him and says, "St. Louis, huh?" And he goes, "Best golf tournament I've ever been to."
Really?
So that's his recollection of the 2018 PGA Championship in St. Louis, and Bellerive did such a great job that's what played a role in the return here in 2026.
Right. I actually saw Koepka at the Grove we were talking about earlier, and I just went up and said hi, and we had met at that point. But, Brooks isn't the warmest and fuzziest guy sometimes, but he was very nice and appreciated. He thanked us again for it. And actually, there is a provision. If he does play well enough to qualify for the event, he will make the event. Now, he doesn't get in all the events because of the agreement coming off of LIV. But if he finishes in the top, in the top 100, makes the top 50, they won't kick a player out. They'll actually add him to the field. So it's a carrot there for him, and I'm sure he'd love to be there, and we'd love to have him. But, that was a week unlike any other. I think everybody would agree who was a part of it.
So of the 50 you'll have, how many will move on to the next
30.
round? 30.
So
okay.
So it's very competitive. It's very tight. So all the players play all 4 days. So there's not a cut. So you'll see all 50 players all Thursday through Sunday. So basically 9 o'clock tee times to 2 o'clock ish. So it's come out and spend the day.
That's awesome. Again, it's taking place. The event, I guess, theoretically, the 17th through the 23rd, right? The event will get underway on the 19th, the first round on the 19th. And how is Bellerive different, I suppose, since 2018?
It is going to be a little different for those who know Bellerive and either played or walked around. We added we basically enhanced 5 tee boxes. 4 were slightly lengthened, just made more playable from the very back tees. Obviously, the length is, even in 8 years ago, they're hitting it farther now than they were 8 years ago. So we'll be able to get it to about 7,500 yards if they want to go that far. Now, they don't have to play there, but the yardage is available for them. The biggest changes on our 17th hole, the tee box has completely shifted to the east of the creek. And what that means is that's a par 5. It's our next to last hole, the penultimate hole. And instead of being a dogleg right hole, it's now almost a straight shot parallel to the creek that runs to the right. So for golfers out there, whenever you have a hazard or a penalty area that you just have to carry, that's not so bad. As long as I hit it far enough, I'm fine. Now the tee shot for those players is parallel to the trouble. So no matter if it's short right or long right, it's not
You
good.
got a problem,
so
right.
we've made the tee shot more interesting, more challenging. However, the tee boxes go from a little over 600 yards all the way to about 560 or 550. So the tour will be able to put the tee up if they want, so the fellas can have a risk reward par 5 coming down the stretch, which is what I hope they do.
Yeah.
So that'll be a big change. But other than that, the golf course has held up through time, and Nick White, our superintendent's done a great job to the agronomic practices, and we're going to keep that going. The rough is brutal right now. Apologies to our membership for having to put up with that for the next 4 months, but it looks amazing, and we just can't be happier right now.
How does Bellerive stack up against some of the other tough courses that the pros play?
Well, I'll tell you, in 1965, when they first played it, it was the longest golf course they'd ever played on tour. And we've always been known as a big, challenging golf course. It's a big boy golf course. We don't have waterfalls and island greens. It's not that kind of golf course or desert golf. It's just a really great test of golf. It's right out in front of you. Nothing's tricky, which is a testament to Robert Trent Jones and Reese Jones. But depending on, I will say this, Doug, what happened in 18 is our greens were really challenged with some health. They just weren't as healthy as we'd like, so they were soft. So again, golfers out there know when the greens firm up, that's when it gets tougher. Because if you hit the ball in the rough and you try to hold that ball that's not spinning out of the rough and it lands on the green, it's going to chase through the green into some more rough. In 18, you could hit the ball in the rough like Tiger did. So I say this with kind of, it's kind of a win. It was kind of a win-win. It was Tiger didn't hit the ball great off the tee, but he was able to hold shots to the green, and that's why we had that great round, and everybody got so excited. Had we had the greens that we're going to have, if you hit in the rough, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
So when Bellerive plays at its best condition and at the length that can be played, it's as tough as any golf course.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, what was the data point on Tiger's Sunday round? He didn't hit a fairway on the front 9 or something?
I think he hit 4 fairways for the day.
How about that?
But he was able to still manufacture shots, and that it doesn't take everything out of it. I mean, we're happy that happened. I mean, we're happy he made the chase, and ultimately Brooks. Tiger didn't lose. Brooks just played better and won.
Absolutely.
And I think that proved to Tiger that he could go out and win again on a major. And what he do? He went and won the Masters his next time out.
That's exactly right. And he talks about that being the event that really launched him forward, and the reaction and that shot as he walked on the bridge. I mean, that's one of the most famous shots.
It's an iconic shot, I think, now in golf and in St. Louis history, in sports-wise.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that creek that you cited, that's where he ran into problems on 17 on Sunday, right?
Yeah, so that will come into play more in August here.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see these guys play. You're going to get a chance to see them at Bellerive in St. Louis here in August. Mike, how can people learn more, get their tickets, and be a part of this?
So we ask you to go to bmwchampionship.com. bmwchampionship.com. There are a variety of ticket packages still available. I would advise to get them earlier than later because the prices will be the best now than they'll be going forward. So there's still some really neat, like I say, the packages and some varieties and dailies. So pick your day, pick the best option for you, and come join us.
There it is, bmwchampionship.com. August 17th through the 23rd, the absolute best of the best coming to St. Louis, back to Bellerive, 8 years removed from what has become known as one of the best PGA championships of the 21st century. That leaderboard was chock full of big-time talent on that Sunday at Bellerive. You know you're going to have it again this year because this will be the 50 best players in the 2026 FedEx Cup standings heading to St. Louis. Mike, always great to see you, man. Thanks so much for coming in.
Really good to see you.
BMWChampionship.com. We'll take a break, come back with more TMA here on 101 ESPN.
Caw-caw. You hear that, Battlehawks fans? That's the sound of Battlehawks football returning to the Dome for the 2026 season, and Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken wants you to be a part of it. That's why their new Battlehawks box will get you 4 of their famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges, plus a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. With this deal, you can get game day ready with a Battlehawks box for just $9.99 at any St. Louis area Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken location. Again, that's 4 famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges, plus you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. You can get the Battlehawks box in-store or by ordering online on Lee's new mobile app, where you can also earn points for free food and discount. That's Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Hey, this is Jackson with a Sports Center update. That's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Final Blues game of the 2025-2026 season tonight, right here on 101 ESPN, as the Blues take on the Mammoth. Pregame at 5:30, puck drop at 6:30. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Is this the end of the show?
End of the road today. That's for sure.
Oh, I thought like the show was over now after, Doug, 22 years.
Yeah, just going to call it quits, fold up shop.
This is how we're going out.
Yeah. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, nice job, Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, the olds would love it.
If you were to go out,
there'd be a celebration in the retirement communities around town.
There would be. If you were to go out, you'd want this song playing in the background.
Think so?
I think.
Just got done with physical therapy, and damn, are my balls hairy. That's from the 314. I wonder what would have led to that text.
Why would you report that to us?
Or that realization. You think you'd know that.
You know that guy?
What kind of therapy would that be? They don't do therapy on your testicle sack.
Danny Padre won the Stanley Cup. I mean, what a magical time in St. Louis sports. 2018, you have Brooks Koepka and the Tiger Woods Sunday. Fist pump on number 18, fist pump on 9 when he was right there in the tournament. Then, 7-8 months later, got the Stanley Cup here. So Daddy Padre and Tiger and Brooks Koepka all have that.
Padre didn't win the Stanley Cup. He had nothing to do with it.
And fresh off our conversation with Bellerive's Mike Tucker, says, can you ask why in the world, after an event like 2018, the PGA hasn't pushed harder for a major here again? That's from Dada. Dada is a member at, I know he's over at St. Louis and Log Cabin and
I don't know.
Bogey and what do you call it, O-Dub?
There's also the issue, do any of the courses want one?
That's one of the core issues.
Yeah, because the membership, they like to play themselves. They don't want to just vacate the place for a year while it gets ready for a tournament.
All right.
And you got to, parking's kind of an issue. There's only a couple courses that would be suitable for the tour. Bellerive, one of them. I don't know if Old Orson is long enough.
Hosted the Ryder Cup in 71.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
I don't know. Listen, it takes two to tango. You're not just a market, but also the PGA Tour. So you got that element of it. And, you got the U.S. Open, you got the PGA. The other two majors aren't live for it.
Not available.
Got a President's Cup coming here in 2030, though.
It's going to be sweet. And
that'll be something else. That'll be pretty cool.
Some call it the fifth major. The Dotem.
Thank you.
Is played
May 15th,
right here
Doug.
in St. Louis. So
that's the keystone event of the area right now.
Yeah.
We have been in talks, though, with Beth Page to move the tournament to New York.
We may have to, because we don't want to overshadow everything else that's going on in St. Louis. Especially the BMW Championship. I don't want people to spend all their money and time at the Dotem and forget about the BMW
The thing about Beth Page, too, is we used to kind of have a linen sponsor that was located in Brooklyn, New York. So
that's correct. Brick and mortar.
Yeah. So it seemed we're already have a strong foothold.
There was just
in the tri-state area.
There was one store in New York that sold linens that sponsored this show.
Yeah.
That is factual. It's phenomenal. We've had copy. This is usually the ad agencies. Most of our clients, this is logistics. Martin would enjoy it, although Martin's well aware of it, are, 99% local at this point. But occasionally you'll have what Doug has called an agency buy. Mm-hmm. And in this case, the agency that bought for Brooklyn and sent over the copy, the deal is you read what the agency sends. In some cases, other spots, I ad-lib, Doug ad-libs. Jackson with a wonderful ad lib while we were talking over him on Lee's famous recipe chicken.
Yeah.
But in this case, read the copy. All right. Well, the copy is for a brick and mortar store if you're in the New York area this weekend and you want some sheets.
My personal favorite was when you had yourself a little personal stylist.
Yeah, and Charlie Marlowe had to fill in for me and do the read. He's thinking to himself, number one, why does this effing clown have a personal stylist? And number two, every time I see him, he's wearing like sweatpants and a hat. So who's the personal stylist?
Yeah. Little Goldblum is what they called you.
You think sometimes there's a mix-up and people are sponsoring things they didn't mean to sponsor?
Hey, listen, if the check clears.
I mean, then there was the sticker bus that Chairman Curtis.
Which what was the business model?
I don't know.
Because they didn't charge you to put a sticker on there, right?
I don't know. The advertisement was, come down to this location and put a sticker on a bus.
Right, and I just have to wonder, how are you making money off of that?
It looks like, according to St. Louis Magazine, they were going after a world record. So it's probably just love of the game.
Beer Cats reporting that Mr. Lick says his course is trying hard to host a PGA event. I've never played Riverside myself, but he says it's ready. That's from Beer Cats. Boy,
what do you
Beer
think
Cats
they'd
and
shoot
Licks.
out there? What would they shoot out
under?
I have never played there.
Yeah, it's not long. It's not a lot of dog legs.
No, it's for casual players.
Yeah.
Beginners or people, the kids guys that don't hit the ball real far, or seniors. Or,
yeah. I wouldn't assume many of them would take a lot of drivers off the tee. I think they'd be just fine hitting 5-iron.
Well, there are a lot of holes that you couldn't drive.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they drive the green, but, maybe take trouble out of the play.
Yeah.
Tim, you look great today. Thanks for being on YouTube. That's your birthday, Hawk.
Stop.
I hope Brad Thompson does send us a video of him playing 13. I'm very interested.
I really enjoy that movie.
Yeah. Oh.
That's in the category of rewatchable, Doug. That's Bill Simmons' podcast, The Rewatchables.
They did one on Tin Cup.
I figured they did.
Oh, it's just an outstanding film.
Glorious conditions in the St. Louis area today. Just beautiful weather. And if you are going to be out and about, you will be able to enjoy the wonderful conditions in the St. Louis area. Cardinals with the day off. And you'll get a chance to enjoy 81 degrees and sunny. And I always gauge it, Doug, by looking at the flags. And the flags are basically not moving too much out there. So if you're out and about and enjoy a beautiful day here in St. Louis, Cardinals back in action tomorrow in Houston. Brad Thompson with us. He's out playing the course where they filmed the Tin Cup 30 years ago with Kevin Costner. He was with us in the 9 o'clock hour. And then Jeff Suppan, who apparently is just going to call in every day at 10 o'clock going forward.
Okay, it's a good time filler.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So you can go back and podcast that via the Schaefer Door Company podcast. And now I got a text from McGreevy. I said, he's playing today, a different course, him, Pages, Sajasi, and Palante. And I said, who's the best player of that group outside of you? No one is lower than a 3.3. That's McGreevy's index. I'll go with Pages. And he says, Pages, he's playing great. I forgot how to drive the ball the first 5 holes. I'm 6 over right now through 8. Got an eagle look, though. So I'm getting play-by-play of the round out there with those boys. I know Pages plays a good amount.
Yeah. Could see that.
I'm going to beat McGreevy. I'm just telling you it's going to happen. I'm going to take him to my home track.
Oh, yeah.
Doug has a problem with the term track.
I don't like track.
And he's just not going to know what to do.
Not the first time.
Narrow. It's going to be great. And I might even give him a few pops to get some plus money on this because he's playing with me in the open track. And he had no.
Yeah, he's getting in his head.
He's having a problem in a driver down in Houston?
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Have fun in Glendale. All right, we got to go. BK and Ferrario are coming up next for Jackson Burkett.
Oh, we did the email today winner real quick.
Oh, God in heaven. I'm saying it's Buck Swope.
The winner today was Chet's neighbor.
Chet's neighbor back. Chet's neighbor has won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. For Jackson Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for Martin Kilcoyne, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, and to McKernan, this has been the Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios on 101 ESPN.